let's do it.
I
love
ready?
them.
No.
She's so funny.
Hey, everybody. Good
totally
morning, good
controlled.
afternoon, good evening.
Called a rolling start.
You're listening to Daddy Issues. I'm Dean McDermott. I'm a daddy of 6. With me, as always, is Adam Hunter, who's a new daddy. He's got a beautiful baby girl. And Nicky Paris, who still needs his daddy.
Yeah.
How are you, fellas?
Good. And we got Jay Mohr here, who has 2 kids.
Yeah, I'm such a daddy that when you said he has a new baby girl, I went, really?
Oh God. She's a little old for you.
She doesn't need that kind of daddy.
By the way, I'm
Jay.
the only guy in the room that caught the self-edit.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
She's
Thank
a
you.
little old for you.
As Adam
how are
said,
you,
we
Jay?
have Jay
I'm
Mohr
good.
with us. Jay, how are
I'm
you?
loving the cleavage today. You look great.
That's right, babe. You got to show up the gray chest hair because
That's
I'm a
right.
daddy.
So how are you doing, Dean?
Oh, God. Do
What?
really
This how
want
you
me to
guys
ask
fucking
you-
start your podcast? How you doing? Good. How are you? How are you? It's like Paul Reiser and Diner. No, you're not going to eat them. I'll eat them. I'm just saying.
This is how we start a podcast. There's the door, Mohr. Have your cookies and get the fuck out of here.
As long as when I get out there, you follow me out and we tangle assholes.
Ooh.
Oh, it's on. It's on. I pulled in next to,
I'm not talking about
to
fighting.
Jay. I pulled in on my motorcycle. And I see him get out of his car and he's pulling his pants up.
The zipper was open and my
I was
pants
like,
were head down.
What were you doing in your car jerking off? And I got my motorcycle helmet on, so he has no
I didn't know who he
idea
was.
who I was.
Mm.
And he said, "Do I know you?" I said, "No, I'm just a fan, man. I just recognize you, Jay Mohr. I love you. I think you're great." He's like, "Oh, thanks, buddy." I said, "Do you swing both ways? I'd love to
said,
fuck
thanks, fan.
you." He said, "Thanks, fan."
I still don't know your name, fan.
And I said, "So you swing both ways? Because I'd love to fuck you." And he was like, "Hey, whoa."
That's not true. What I know exactly what I said because I was proud of it.
You were proud of it?
Depends on how hot the wife is.
You,
Oh.
that was after you kind of cringed a little bit and go, "Nah, fuck.
Who
This
the
guy's
fuck
crazy."
is sitting here? Do you think I cringe that you swing both ways? Like that would even move my needle. I've sucked a dick in my life or 5. Like,
You and I both. We both blew our friend when we were younger.
right?
Yeah,
So like
that's
that's,
the one
gonna
thing
make
we have
me
in common.
blanch.
Was it the same friend?
Yes.
No,
It
wait,
was a train.
It was a Saturday movie date Wait, you blew. Wait,
Oh.
and Indiana Jones. You blew your friend. I know he blew his friend.
He blew his
Yeah,
friend.
we didn't know that you blew a friend.
Yeah, well,
I think Nicky blows his
I
friend.
found this out after seeing Jay's set on the dime.
Obviously.
At the dime. I saw your set.
What do you mean? Obviously, like you're. What would make that obvious?
Because I'm gay.
What?
I know.
Nicky,
Guys. Can't believe Nicky Paris is gay.
He is gay.
Right.
I just thought he was kind of effeminate. But
Yeah.
you-
Yeah.
yeah.
You thought wrong.
I'm just mad he's not wearing a boa with that name.
I can, Jay. Whatever you need, we're happy
He
to have
will.
you
He'll
here.
do it.
Whatever we could do.
Nicky's
So
a good boy.
yeah, you said, do you swing both ways? I said, depends on how hot the wife is. Fan. And then I go, I still don't know who you are. And then I go, kind of judging on that awesome sleeve. There's only one guy I know that likes fucking carp that much, and it's Dean.
I had a long sleeve shirt on, so you're
No, you
just
didn't.
fucking lying.
No,
Yeah,
you
but,
didn't.
yeah.
I saw the sleeve.
This was it. This is my long sleeve shirt.
Wait, so you saw his act
right.
at the dime bar. He talks about blowing his friend when he was in high school. And
Yeah.
then
No,
you
no,
blew-
whoa, I was 10 years old.
you were 10.
Yeah, and I
He
was
was 10
the
also.
same age, and I had an encounter with my best friend.
At 10 years old. And you
Yeah.
went up to him and you said, I blew my friend too? That's
Yeah,
like
we-
kind of a bonding.
That was
moment.
that was kind of my in because I've been a fan.
Did you
I
guys
was
share
a fan.
tips?
I was a fan.
Grip it and cup the balls?
No, we bumped tips, but we didn't exchange tips.
We were talking. Here's my text from Dean after that night. I wrote, "Hey, Dean, I'm going to say your last name and break your anonymity on the podcast.
Okay, that's
Dean
fine.
McDermott, my brother, I got you, JJ." And then he writes back, because he goes, before we came on the air, Dean goes, "Yeah, you didn't even respond to my text." I'm like, "Well, I texted you, then you responded to me. Like, how long do we keep responding?" And he wrote, "Hey, Jay, great hanging out with you. Great set tonight. I laughed so hard I wanted to suck a cock."
That's pretty. That's cool.
That's when I knew.
That's actually kind of funny.
All
Yeah,
right.
but I didn't even get a LOL or a haha back. So I
Yeah,
thought-
that is awkward to not get something back.
He wanted to
yeah.
throw
Right.
it back like you guys were 10 again. You should be flattered.
Are we dating?
I think so.
The
I'd like
fuck?
to.
I just wish
You're
you know.
single, right?
Look.
Yeah, how's the love life, Jay?
You could have said LOL. That is kind of fucked up. You like let him.
I'm
hang.
gonna agree
Thank
with you.
you, Adam.
I agree. When
Yeah.
Adam's like my voice of reason. He's the guy over my shoulder going, "You should have given him something."
You're in trouble about
He's
it.
emotionally vacant. You could
No, because he did say something. He goes, "Jay Mohr is a nice guy, man." He goes, "But I sent him a text and he didn't respond back." That actually did affect him. That you didn't actually. Now that I think about it, you did say something. To
I
him.
don't have
Yeah,
that kind
and
of
that-
power
that's
to
what
affect
started
you.
off my whole depression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're to
Yeah.
blame. If you could do it again, what would you say back to that text, Jay?
I probably would put LOL or something because Adam is like my voice of reason.
Yeah.
Maybe even like
Adam's
the,
all our voices
the,
of
the
reason.
eggplant with the splash thing.
Me,
Yeah.
so me,
A little hacky. You know, I do the baby. I do the gorilla, the silverback gorilla, and then the baby bottle emoji. I'm the daddy. You're the baby.
so Dean, no, but like in the beginning,
that.
can we talk about you?
I'm sorry.
Or no?
I just winked
Are
at
you
Jay.
okay?
I couldn't help it, Jay.
Yeah. Oh, listen, dude. I mean, come on. I'm an open book. I mean, you saw True Tory, and it's public knowledge that I suffer from depression.
Dean, listen
So-
to me, okay?
Yeah.
Nobody saw True Tory.
Well, I know Adam did.
I did. I watched every episode. I love that fucking show. I remember sitting at home going, this couple needs me as a life coach. I could straighten this shit out right now.
You actually thought we were
no
divorced.
no one's listening to each other, and everyone's keeping a scorecard. Well, that and this and that. I've been exactly where you were in the show, and I actually thought you got divorced. And you're like, no, I'm married. And Adam goes, he's married to Tori Spelling. I'm like, I know, dumb shit. I just thought they divorced from the show.
Well, now with
It's
you,
the only interesting thing about him.
now with you, no, that's you're gonna. That's not true. He's not interesting at all. No, but listen. So no, he's a very, very interesting guy. But the thing is that
Keep quiet.
when you were with Nikki Cox or your first wife, you were in the same place.
The first.
First wife.
Yeah,
First
we
one
didn't
was-
argue. The second one we didn't argue. It was,
The first one was Nicole.
Yeah, they're both
Nicole.
Nicole's.
You gotta think for Nikki's, huh?
I guess so. And everybody that pops up on Tinder is a Nikki, but they're all, heavy and black and in the Inland Empire. And they want roses.
Jay, just ask me out
far
already.
of a drive.
Just
That's
do
too
it.
far of a drive.
Do people recognize
Move
you
up.
on Tinder though and go, "Hey, weren't you in Jerry Maguire or weren't you this?" Or
They go, you look like Jay Mohr. And then I realized it is impossible to prove who you are. It's like there's some Kafka novel in there or some weird. And you're like, well, okay, I get that a lot. So my driver's license says I am him. And they're like, well, yeah, LOL. I was like, okay, well, how do I know? How do I know you're you?
right.
How do I know you're really Jamishua?
Okay, so when
In
you,
Ontario.
when you show up in the Inland Empire and you meet Jamishua, how do they respond when they find
She's
out?
upstairs,
oh, fuck,
by
it
the
is
way.
Jay Mohr.
Well, they know by then, I guess, if I meet somebody. I've had zero success on Tinder at all. The only success I've had on any dating app was at Seeking Arrangements.
Oh no.
Don't know
No,
what
but
that
I've never
is.
given anybody a dime. Seeking Arrangements is like, you're going to be a sugar daddy, not a daddy. And I'm not a sugar daddy, man. F that.
So
If you're my girlfriend, I would give you all my money
there's a
anyway,
site?
so-
Did you
Yeah,
know
right.
this, Nikki? There's a site.
Yeah, I know a guy
Yeah.
who like rips people off on that. He's like the worst.
So did you
So you-
promise
you
and
give
under
these
deliver, or do you
girls
just not
money
promise at
and-
all?
They want
I
like
I haven't gone on a date in a very long time, but it's like, yeah, let's meet. And if they want, some of them want money to meet. And I'm like, I'm ambulatory.
Like how much? Give me a ballpark.
Couple hundred, 300, like to
Just
to
to
meet.
meet.
Just to meet at like at Applebee's.
Like they're escorts, I guess. Yeah, no, I don't think they want
Does
to
he
go
look
Applebee's.
like an Applebee's guy?
I love
am.
Applebee's,
You're
don't
more
you
of a
think?
TGI
And
Fridays.
Target.
If we went on a date, I'd ask for
I would
Applebee's.
lean Applebee's. He's right.
Applebee's,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I thought TGI
Target.
Fridays. You seem kind of
Yeah.
fun.
well, I feel like we kind of glossed over your depression because
Because we want to have fun on the show, Adam.
but you said I'm depressed. You said nobody likes Tori, and now we're in Applebee's. I just want to make
I didn't know you guys
And
hadn't
if we were
spoken
in
about it before.
Applebee's,
I'm
I
gonna give
would
it
be
a
depressed as
yeah.
well. I
But
would
I
be
just want to
more
make
depressed.
I just want to make sure you're okay, man.
We love you,
you're,
Dean.
You're one of my favorite people.
Yeah, Dean. Seriously,
you
you are
have-
a light in a room.
You have the biggest heart.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
so it's like people depend on you.
And biggest shoulders.
Really.
You sure about that?
You know he was a hockey player, right? This guy.
Thank you. That's very
Good.
kind.
He's from
guys.
Canada.
Yeah. He was pretty good at hockey.
All right. Yeah.
Jay was at.
Do you have to be somewhere? Would you prefer?
No,
to
my
be-
assistant's coming with my computer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great.
I
That
don't
makes
know
sense.
why I spoke like a robot. My assistant's coming with my computer.
Siri Moore. That's what we're gonna call you from
Dude,
here
Jay
on out.
Moore, me and Jay coach wrestling together.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
to
been
be a fly on the wall for that, I would love to see that.
But
shit.
you don't understand. Like he's obviously a great wrestler. He's great, good with people. But he's also like Rain Man when it comes to certain things. Like he looks at things in just a whole different way. Like just a whole different calculation. Like
Are you trying to say Jay's on the spectrum?
No, I don't think I'm no. But I'm saying like he told me one time he watched like a football game and then rewrote the Seattle Seahawks entire offense in like a weekend.
Really?
But like just for himself.
Because I have watched you coach the kids, and it's like he's spotting things that they're doing wrong or could do better, and I'm like, how does he see that?
Yeah.
Who?
You.
Oh yeah, well, I like tape. I love looking at film, and that wasn't available when we were coaches. And
Yeah.
I do want to talk about your depression very much.
I want to talk more about you.
No, I know,
and-
but I think that's important to talk about, and the fact that you're talking about it, I think is really cool. Yeah, no, I don't know specifically what you're saying.
No,
you just
I'm
said,
just-
he just looks.
No, I'm saying you're
You
very.
said you're like Rain Man, but
no,
not autistic.
I'm just saying he's a very good coach, but he's also into like the whole mental, like
Oh, it's all mental.
yeah,
All of it.
like the whole mental part of it.
And Adam is an exceptional, one of the best I've ever. No, you are the single best teacher of technique I've ever been
Oh,
around in
thanks.
my 2 years of coaching, with many coaches going and travel. I mean, I could coach the Canadian junior national team. Like I just go wherever I can go, and I just thought to just a very long process, decades of. It's all mental. Like, they know the moves. It's all mental. All of it. Life is mental. The only skill set for a wrestling room is effort. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how fat you are, what color you are, what religion, whatever. It's just, if a guy that runs a 4.40 shows up to your high school football team, there's our wide receiver. If he's 7 feet tall for the basketball team, there's the center. So if he's a lefty and he can shoot, he's the left, what do you call that?
He's left defenseman, left winger.
Yeah, he's playing the left side. So I just realized it's just life is just attendance and effort. That's all it is. You don't know anybody that keeps showing up and keeps fucking going that isn't successful. You don't.
It's true.
I'll take your thoughts off the air. 1-800-626-5221. Jim Rome, this is great. Does not suck. Well, thank you for the compliment.
It's true.
It was very sweet. You guys had a
and
very
you're
nice
great
moment.
at it.
I wish
Oh,
we were
thanks,
recording
man.
it.
He's coaching 7th graders, and it's fascinating. And they come to see me at Palisades High, and I realized this year these freshmen are exceptional, and they just fight.
Now you guys grew up wrestling
Because he
right?
taught them that, yeah. Just until I would come.
That's what. See, I tried. Wrestling wasn't that big in Canada when I was a kid, and we tried it. We tried it once, and
What'd
it
I
ju-
say?
Nothing.
That's the thing that weirded me out. I was like, okay, this guy's package is like on my leg.
They-
This is
they-
weird.
Well,
They-
then get it off.
They, they also changed it. They made it now. We have shorts and tank tops, so don't have to wear the singlets.
Oh, there's
anymore.
no more singlets.
It's,
There are.
it's,
There
it's
are
up to the
singlets.
coach. And as a coach, I was like, no. Especially in middle school, the only kids that want to wear them are black kids. Because they're all like,
Wouldn't you?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, shit,
like,
I'd wear a singlet every day, like
Right.
class and.
What time's my dick weigh in?
Dips into the sock a little bit. I know.
dude, sometimes like there's a little black kid on my team, and I'm like, hey man, so you have a girlfriend? He's like, nah, I'm done with black girls. He's in seventh grade.
Jesus.
I didn't know what to tell him. I was like, hang in there, man. Like, what do I say that's not gonna?
He wants somebody a little bit more passive.
Nice.
Is that
yeah.
what? Yeah.
This is what he didn't say. Now I only date fat white girls that spell Lisa with 2 E's.
Yeah.
and have cornrows.
Yeah.
Live in Valencia.
Lisa with 2 E's.
Yeah, like a fat white girl name.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Lisa.
So you are dating right now. You're
No,
not at all. You'd like to. What's your like? If you had to pick your ideal type,
I
what,
don't have a type.
at all.
honestly.
You're an
No.
equal opportunities
You have good
offender.
taste, though.
Yeah, well, I have a girlfriend. She's in New Zealand. She's a private chef.
Wow.
And
That's got to be tough. Long distance relationship.
we're comics, man. It's like 6 weeks.
Oh, she's a comedian
She's
too.
She's
No,
comedian.
us in this room.
Oh,
She's I said she's a private chef. I think I said she's a private
yeah.
chef.
Sorry.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's okay.
I'm an actor and I also do comedy. So
That means you're an actor. So
I'm also a chef too.
it means you're a chef actor.
He can act over a souffle.
chef-
is what
I'm a
that
chef
means.
too.
Anything you do on the side ain't your thing. Like if people go like, it's always haircuts. I'll cut your hair. I cut hair on the side. No other job does anybody say they do it on the side.
Yeah.
You want me to roof your house? Because I roof on the side.
Yeah, it's true. That's how you wind up at a bowl cut when someone's like, I cut hair on the side. Like,
Or a
what the
leaky
fuck
roof.
happened to my head?
God willing.
Yeah.
I hope so. Give me the mo.
So the show is called Daddy Issues. It's
This
about
show.
this show. It's about
That
being.
you're
It's
on.
about being a
Fucking
dad.
recording right now?
Yes, you have 2 great kids. You have 2 exceptional kids.
Well,
Any now from 2 different moms, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Any advice
I
on
spread my seed around Adam Hunter.
any advice,
get
dude?
everyone
His
pregnant.
kid. Funny stuff about his kid, right? When I was on
So
last,
there's Jackson and
Meredith.
Meredith. Okay,
Mackie.
where did that name come from?
My ex-father-in-law is a Meredith. It means Lord of the Sea in Scotland. It's very southern.
Are you Scottish?
Yeah, you're pretty much all Scottish and German. And then
Yeah, so am I. From Glasgow.
here's the action. Told the story on stage, so whatever. When I go, my son, I do a lot of jokes about my son, like when he got circumcised and all this, and when he did this boy thing and this and that, and then I like later in the show I'll go, so my son Meredith, and I'll either there's an audible like Meredith, or I'll just feel them kind of sag back, and I go, oh, you guys want to talk about that right now? But they don't know I have 11 minutes
yeah,
holstered, and I won't do that version. But basically, I had full custody of Jackson. His mom had supervised visitation for an hour once a week. And when the divorce is over and everything settles and you're alone in a house with a kid, it's like, oh, like here it is. It's overwhelming.
of course.
Everything- 'cause
How
just-
old was he?
He was a baby. He was like 2. Well, he was a baby. And then this happened, like, because things took like 2 years. So he was like 3, and I had him count to 5 for some reason. I was up in the Hollywood Hills, and he was like, 1, lefty, Louis, 5. I go, no, just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I dug in the wrong place. I'm like, just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He goes, 55, 5, 5. I go, please count to 5. And he's like, lefty. He kept saying lefty, Louis, something, 5, 3. And I'm like, literally, count to 5. And I started having a panic attack.
Right.
And I realized I just yelled at a little kid, like a 4-year-old. And I realized this is not going to go the way my childhood went. And I panicked, like, this is not good. So I prayed for patience. This is, Dean, you can back me up on this. This is what an addict I am. I prayed to God for patience right now.
Yeah. Immediately.
Dear God, I want patience, and you better fucking bring it, stat.
Wow.
Give it legs, Lord. Give it legs.
Wow.
God, patience, pick up customers.
Yeah, no, and it doesn't come.
And so then the doorbell rang, and it was Nick's father, Meredith, who's a rocket scientist, and he's a genius, and he's cool. He's like this hot, fucking cool dude. And he just stopped by on his way home from work. I never gave him my address. We were just dating. Second wife, Nick. And he came in. He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. You know, he can't even count to 5. And he goes over and he goes, hey, count to 5 for me, buddy. And my son goes, lefty, Louis, ling, ling, 5. And he goes, that's right. I'm like, all right, it's another way to do it. So I named my son after an answered prayer because I prayed for patience. It rang my doorbell.
Wow.
And this guy's like the most patient man I had ever met.
Wow.
So I named a boy Meredith, who is, as you've seen, he's just turned 8 and he's 86 pounds.
He's adorable.
He's a house. He's Joe Klecko. He's a big kid.
And what does Meredith mean again?
Lord. Good to know you're dialed in. Lord of the Sea.
I forget what I did like 10 minutes ago. I
actually met your first son like 10 years ago before I even knew you.
How was the pussy?
It's very strange.
You went over there to crush some ass?
No, your wife. Your wife. When I was on Last Comic Standing, right? Jay was the host. He wasn't the host. I was here. I think he was banned from the set or something. But he was like,
no, it's my show, and I just stepped down when they took the comics out of the house.
Okay, got it. Okay, so then
Just to clarify.
so he used to call me like Jay Mohr Light to his ex-wife. Like, hey, how's Jay Mohr Light? Like, right? So then
that's not true, by the way.
That's what she told me. That's what Nicole told me, right? So
hold on.
Can we get Nicole on the line?
You just presented
Get the phone
what
number,
an ex-wife who saw their kid an hour a week.
right.
So obviously there's maybe some bad blood.
Yeah.
What she never asked me if I actually called you that.
Well, I actually
That means every day that's been in the back of your mind.
no, because I never. Well, yeah, no,
You have it in
no.
writing.
No, I forgot about it. But I think I asked like, what did Jay Mohr say about me? Like I was actually.
Because I think you
asking him.
sound a lot like, I'm being dead serious, like Bobcat, his regular speaking voice is
Yeah.
you guys have a very similar voice.
I've been told that before.
And he's a fucking genius.
Love Bob.
So I'm not
Love
teasing,
Bobcat.
like,
He's amazing.
Yeah.
yeah. So like, that's why I think you sound like
So-
me light.
So what happened was, so for some reason, Jay's son. No one liked me on the show except for Jay's son, and he was rooting for me. Like no one like, and he had the posters saying "Go Adam." So Nicole called me and said, "Hey, will you come over and meet my son? He's a big fan of yours." And I went over there, and there was like posters saying "Go Adam," and he was sleeping. But I said, so I went up to him. I go, "Hey man, thanks, buddy," and then I left. I never hooked up with Nicole. I never.
While he was sleeping?
Just said thanks. I came in, just said he was sleeping, and that was it. But it was like,
How old was he then? Around.
Was this before or after you fucked this kid? I just want to make sure
No,
I'm keeping.
the ex-wife.
this was.
Pussy.
I never fucked your ex-wife. I swear on my life.
I believe you, and like I would. I want people to fuck my current wife or girlfriend all the time. What do I care?
Do you?
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
How old-
Yeah,
It was
I want to
two-
talk more about
it was-
Last Comic Standing.
It was 2008.
So
So
the point
how
being
old?
like, hey, my itty bitty toddler son's upstairs sleeping. When do you go in there and have some words with him?
I don't know. I don't know. I forgot why I was there, but it was 2008. So I don't know how old he was. About like 5, 6.
I don't know.
But I think he only liked me because I look like his dad. That's probably why. That's probably.
And
why.
I was the host at the time.
No, it was right at who was Bill Bellamy was the host.
So why was she hanging out on set with my son?
And she
I
wasn't.
Never, I
she
never
was
knew
watching
this.
TV.
Oh, okay.
It was. I went to her
There's
house.
people in the audience, but
I went to her
sides.
actual house. No, I went to her house.
Right, when he was holding signs, go at him.
It was-
That's
it
what
was-
the
it was-
audience-
no, it was at home.
It was at the house.
At home. He was
Oh,
doing
all
that.
right. Just
Yeah,
clarifying.
Yeah, it was very nice. I thought it was cute.
It is cute. He's a
Yeah.
beauty. He's a beautiful kid, man.
And that's Jackson?
Yeah.
You must be such a fun dad. I haven't seen you with your kid, just on social media. What would surprise us about you as a father?
I don't know what would surprise people about me being a father. Because I'm very hesitant for a long time to do anything about my kids on Instagram. Because I remember I tweeted pictures of Jackson on Twitter when Twitter like first started, just hitting fucking bombs with a baseball bat. And then I did it with Meredith too. And we get like 2 retweets. I'm like, well, you know what? Then fuck this place. Like, this is pretty cool. There's a cat with sunglasses with 500,000 retweets.
Yeah.
I can't compete with a cat in sunglasses. Hey, Adam, Norm McDonald. You don't want to go up against that cat with sunglasses. You can beat that, you know?
Yeah, you're not gonna beat that. You're not gonna beat that.
Sun was in his eyes, so you have to wear sunglasses as a cat.
Suppose the cat in the sunglasses was hitting the balls.
I bet he had a bad...
What if you got your kid to hit cats with a baseball bat?
Ooh.
Hit cats out of the park.
That's cool.
Then
Then he'd be a serial killer.
Yeah, but that's on the road.
He could work up to that. This is just a
He could work up
starting
to that.
point.
This is just to get his followers up.
We know what happens when Dean chimes in. Jesus.
Now, where did
Jesus.
you meet Nikki Cox, by the way? Where did you guys actually
On the
meet?
set of Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Ah.
And in the show,
I did my homework.
the character,
Nobody
yeah,
cares.
I know.
I'm
You were
just-
prepared always. I
got notes and everything for this. Is
Yeah.
the first
First one
year-
is
Look at
Jay Mohr
this.
is
He
hung
has
like-
for your first guest that I've had notes for.
The first note is Jay Mohr is hung like a light switch.
Okay, because you said that I've been watching. I've been boning up on your comedy because I was a big fan. I was a big fan of yours just from SNL. I didn't listen to your stand up, and I have to apologize. You are fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
You are so. I love your stand up, man. You're my new favorite stand up, and I know you've been.
Fuck yeah, bro.
And I know you've been and you've been doing it for years.
His
If
new
you-
stuff's awesome
And
too.
if you ask Adam,
Yeah.
I'm a huge student of comedy.
a lot
That's
of people
all I
don't
listen
know
to
I'm a
all the
comic. Some
time.
people are like, wait, you act? Some people are like,
You wrestle
yeah.
with children.
That's the
your
number one
stuff-
question. Like,
it's-
did you wrestle? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Right.
I just write a book and I get in there and I mix it up. Well, yeah, thanks, man. That's amazing.
It's
to
very
hear. I
clever
love
stuff.
that shit.
You talk about your son.
Everything.
I love when you talk about taking your son to school. You drop him off and you said, "Be a leader today." I love that. That's
You know,
that
I'd forgotten I said that
that's
because when you
something.
do a special, you just
To
forget the
me-
material entirely. Thank you. Wow.
But to me, that
I
kind
got
of
my notebook out.
that kind of summed up. That to me,
Get out your notes on Dean.
That kind of summed up what kind of dad you are.
Yeah.
You know, there's a story behind that too, because kids, all of us included, you always want to be like with the cool kids, and then
Yeah.
you graduate high school. It's like the football teams, the cool kids, and the football cheerleaders. Those hibbies, they're the cool ladies. And then you graduate high school, and you're like, oh, the soccer guys were the fucking guys. Like it's different when
Yeah.
you leave. You look back, you're like, ugh. So my sons, and I think most kids, like if you go up to kids in the park, if you're a kid and like, hey, chase us. Most kids will just start chasing the other kids. And with both sons, this happened where kids were like, hey, you chase us. And they got up and I went, no way. Because every time you come to the park, they're going to expect you to chase them.
them, right.
And then one day you're going to show up to the park. You're going to be all the way across the parking lot. They're going to be like, look who it is. And it's going to be this big fucking joke.
Right.
Let them fucking chase you.
Because when I go to the school now
Be
and
a
I ask the
leader.
kids to chase me, they just call the principal.
Well, thank God that's all they call.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now, but your kids were getting bullied online, and you made a couple of videos.
They were.
Talking to Dean, listen.
Yeah.
Dean,
So I said be a leader today because I was trying to over and over and over and over convey, like you're the coolest guy I know. You're
Yeah.
the actual cool. Both my sons are the coolest guys I know.
Yeah.
My son Jackson wants to be senator, and he will be. He's a fucking genius. I never understood how World War I broke out because nobody ever explained it concisely. He took out a piece of paper and he drew arrows, who invaded who, and this, and then this phone call was made. I'm like,
Wow.
got it. Thanks.
Wow.
When he was 15, I'm like, thanks.
Senator Mohr.
Now he's
Sounds
30.
good.
My grandfather ran for Senate, got his teeth kicked in. As Dennis Miller would say, this guy made McGovern look like William the Conqueror.
He got stomped like a biker at a narc at a biker
No, I'm with you.
rally.
The fact that you have Dennis Miller holstered makes me happy.
How
I
do you
got a
deal
lot
with
of
your
shit
children
holstered.
dealing with bullies, Jay? Like, have you had that talk with them yet?
Well, I talk so dominantly that I want to make sure Adam's question to Dean gets answered, and then I'll feel
Okay,
your
yes,
question.
you
sure.
know,
I'll take a
'cause,
number.
Like, lately,
And you
you've
asked a
been
question
going online,
earlier.
and,
Right.
and like now, does Tori get mad at you, or is she behind you with that?
No, she's been behind me because
You want me to straighten her out?
I hate social media, please. I hate social media. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's a necessary evil, and I do that much. You know, the kids got bullied for their clothes they were wearing on the first day of school. Tori posted a picture of the kids' first day at school, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at their hair!" and "Oh my God, are those clothes from Target?" And then I'm like, "What the fuck? It's so LA. Like,
That's
what,
not bullying the kids, though.
What are you? It is bullying.
Your sons are following you on fucking IG? Your sons follow you on Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, what's all these comments making fun of my clothes?"
No, the people out there bullying kids on social media.
They're saying you put your kids in fucked up clothes. They're not bullying your kids.
Okay, but
I'm not saying your kids don't get bullied.
How about when they call them obese?
To them? To your kids?
No, on social
your
media.
kids have no idea this is happening. They're not being bullied.
But they're looking at the comments.
Liam has seen it. He's 12, and he saw some.
I mean, they
stuff.
follow the mom and dad on Instagram.
They're starting to see that shit in the market.
I see his point,
supermarket. I do see your point too.
And I knew it was a specific thing that I was pecking at. I do know, like, they're aware of like tabloids and shit. So you're in a very unique position.
They're starting to get that. They're starting to read those headlines and stuff in the supermarket.
That's the problem. Let them learn how to read.
But keep them stupid. But the social media thing, it is. It's so they were getting bullied on social media. Liam picked it up, and that's when I really went ballistic because it's like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and then Stella's 10, and it's gonna happen in a year.
He's turning
or two.
red now. I'm not kidding. Like his face is red. See
Yeah,
that?
but nobody apologizes. That's the problem. Nobody says, Dean, you're right. I shouldn't have called the kids obese. My bad.
They never do. They never do.
So
I have a lot of people who
No,
chime
he's
in and
wounded,
say,
get him.
say good for you, but
Look for a
people
pen this
never
whole time.
apologize.
No, so it's like
and a lot of people just want to get a reaction too, and I think it's so sick that's what people like. They just really look to push buttons. Like, how dare you comment on what somebody else's children's wearing? Like, what are your children wearing?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I don't even go there, right? Like, I don't even think that. Like, why on earth would I take my time out of my day to?
But their
but
their train of thought as well. Tori put the thing out there, or you put it out there. They can't control what we think. So that if you put it out there, you're gonna get reviews, right? And these are shitty reviews. And they're shitty people for doing it. But they're probably, well, if you don't want people saying stuff.
And I think that's a lame argument. The same way as, like, we get pissed off, we get followed by paparazzi, or they say crap in the magazines, like, well, you signed up for it to be an actor.
Yeah.
No, you know what? No, I didn't. I didn't sign up for like some fucking illegal sitting in front of my house with a camera, trying to shoot pictures in my house, or
easy. You don't know that's his camera. Relax.
write stories, bullshit stories. I didn't sign up for that. I don't think anybody did.
No, you're right.
No,
I'm totally with you.
If I put something out there and you disagree with it, that's fine. But I didn't ask for your advice. I didn't ask for you to comment on it.
So what do your kids say when you do that? The kids say, Dad, don't get upset, or Dad, it's okay, or
Liam handled it really, really well. He said, Dad, am I obese? I said, look, buddy, there are some sick people in the world. And they need to do stuff like this. They need to say bad things about people. I mean, think about it, son. You have a busy life. You got school, you got sports. Do you think you have time to go into your Instagram, scroll through the people you're following, and make a negative comment about somebody? I said, no, you don't.
Right.
You don't. And if you did, you'd fill your time with something else.
Right, of course.
So think of how sick these people are that they have to do that.
Do they like going on social media?
Little kid, yeah, they love it.
Do.
Stella has she does this slime stuff. So, she posts her slime. She's constantly making slime, and then they promote each other, They got this little slime circle. And so, yeah, they enjoy it. And, I just think, especially when it comes to kids,
kids should be off limits. Like, no questions asked, of course.
No, I have a friend. I have a good friend that, like, asked me, hey, man, can we hang out? And he kind of wanted me to help him write jokes. And he's like, but without your kid.
He said that?
What?
Yeah.
To my sweet Violet?
Yeah, and I was like, because the last time I brought the kid, she was crying or something, and I had to change her.
Fuck that guy.
So I'm like,
no, you're not wrong. I would say the same thing.
No.
Really?
Nah, to me.
I can't be distracted. I can't have a kid crying. I need your undivided attention. I get it.
No.
Maybe he didn't say it right.
I was like.
What was his reasoning for not having the?
Because he wanted me to help him with his jokes.
You helped me with my jokes. She kept Violet with you.
I know
every time.
And I would never say to someone, "Hey,
and you don't wear pants," which is really distracting.
I would never tell
you guys sound like
someone.
a bunch of fucking
I would never tell someone, "Don't bring your
You
child."
always bring Violet when you help me with my jokes.
I would never tell someone not to bring their kid, like, ever. That would never cross my mind.
How did you respond to that?
I said I didn't. That was it. And then
So when are you gonna see Aldo again?
No, Aldo loves the baby.
I know, I'm joking.
Yeah. And you can't help Aldo's jokes. So yeah, no, it's just you can't do it. So I love we have a mutual friend Aldo. He's the best.
So going back to the posting about the kids. So you didn't sign up for that, right?
Right.
Well, neither did the kids, right?
Right.
So when Tori, I agree with you entirely about kids. I'm not legitimizing these fucking trolls, but the only life they have is the life we breathe into them. Their only sustenance is attention. So by posting on Instagram, which is based on likes and shares, she's aware that the kids look fucking sharp, and she wants people to know you, like I would too. Like I want people to see, like, look how great my goddamn kids look. I got 2 beautiful boys. Dean, look at my sons. Look at these guys going to school. And those comments, everyone's aware. So no, you guys didn't sign up for it. So what you also didn't sign up for, the kids didn't sign up for. How do I say this more succinctly? She's aware when she posts the comments, especially you two. You guys have been put through the damn ringer, and you're both the nicest people on earth. And in the future, period, I'll fucking throw it for you in 2 seconds. It would bring me joy to fucking crush somebody's goddamn orbital socket and talk shit about you or whatever.
Thank you.
But the kids, if they're reading comments on your Instagram, and that's the only way they know about that, that's how do I say what I'm saying, Adam?
It's kind of on you for putting the picture out there because they're not the ones posting it, is what he's trying to say.
Thank you.
But at the
I'm
same
being very
time,
delicate because it's Dean's kids.
I totally get. Oh, don't be delicate with me.
But you said
like
you
it
went
rough.
ballistic.
Well, because I just had enough.
But you didn't go ballistic in front
of.
of the kids. You didn't answer to the trolls. You didn't go ballistic to Tori. So then where
No,
was
I
this?
answered to the trolls.
You just said you never give them the time of day. You would never.
No,
waste
I
your time.
didn't say that.
No, I didn't say
I didn't
It was like 6 minutes ago before I was looking for a pen for 10 minutes.
He didn't actually. No, he actually though went online and
where you
said,
went?
"Hey motherfuckers, this these are my kids. Back
They're
off."
off limits.
All right. So then
I
I
always
thought you said that.
offer anyone too. I said, meet me anywhere, anytime. Say it to my face.
I say that a lot too. I
I'm
used to
like-
anyway.
I used to. I backed off on that. Unless it's really bad, I'm like, you fucking meet me anywhere.
Has anybody ever
I'll turn
accepted
you
the
into
challenge?
dust.
No, right?
No.
I got news for you. I want somebody to accept the challenge because I
I
don't.
do
I
too.
don't care
Oh.
who's answering because Dean's gonna win.
Yeah, but he's also on TRT. Like he would fucking
What's TRT?
testosterone replacement therapy.
Well, I didn't know that. My money was on Dean.
Yeah. So
Did
he's
they
like,
test in
he's
fucking I'll meet
super-
trolls fighting league?
I don't even know what TRT is.
I'm trying to get him to give me some.
Is that like a new
No,
type of popper?
Dr. Asandra is gonna hook you
He
up.
keeps dangling it in front of me.
And you? You want testosterone? Have you had
Of
your
course I do.
testosterone checked?
Yeah, it's
Dude, he
it's
goes
in
to the gym-
fucking basement. Why do they have 2 Cialis on me? I don't even have a fucking date.
Oh, dude. Oh, okay. Listen.
I just take
Can
it
you
and
give me a
watch-
little background because I've never heard of
Okay.
this
It's an
before.
enhancement for
testosterone.
muscles.
What happened to steroids?
As we get older, that's
Come
completely
on, that's
different.
2000 late.
We produce testosterone, which gives us a lot of our features.
Why you keep making big boob gestures?
Because I don't know. Because
Dude, he does. He goes to the gym once on this thing, and he's fucking jacked. I'm like, what the hell?
Like you're going
2 weeks.
testosterone,
what
big
all
boobs,
it is
man.
it's
a
testosterone
supplement.
replacement. As we get older, as we get older, and women too. Women need testosterone.
I'll give it to him.
And when we get
My
older,
penis at work again.
we lose testosterone. So I got tested. I've been doing this for about 8 months now. When I got tested, I had the testosterone level of a 70-year-old man. So
No.
it was in the basement.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm shooting for.
Which
It
is
was in the
which is
basement
weird
before,
because he's
so-
70.
Because I got that gel. It's a testosterone.
I think I look good for
to
70.
answer your question.
you do.
It's a. It's
I would never
it's-
thought you had osteoporosis.
So
It can
it's
make you aggressive.
testosterone replacement. So I used to do shots, but now I get these pellets. They you stick them in your butt, and they last for 3 to 4 months because it's a slower release
I bet.
than the injection. And energy, muscle retention, like I just feel like
Like a
young
daddy
again.
should
I
feel.
feel like a daddy should be. I get jacked. My muscle.
You guys have
tension
sex
and
every
quality.
day now, you and your wife.
And that, I mean,
Three
that was,
3 times a day.
Are you
though
one
I
of
had-
those guys that last for like 6.5 hours?
Even though I had low testosterone, that
Or as
never.
Nikki and I
But
call
now
it.
you're going
never
like twice a
affected-
day, right? 3 times a day.
It never stopped. Like, it's never stopped.
Wait, from
go every day.
testosterone you get that horny? From
Dude,
TRT?
dude, yeah, you'll go through the roof.
Because I'm on
You
the
won't-
gel, like the pump gel you rub on your arm.
No, that shit doesn't.
I never
work.
felt like boning it
No.
out.
I just
No,
got
no,
my
no,
Adam's
no.
apple.
No, because Nikki's
That's-
balls just
don't-
dropped.
Don't
Yeah,
ever
like,
forget that.
on the way
sentence.
here.
That's
No,
great. I just
Jay,
got my Adam's apple.
honestly, the creams and stuff like that don't work. The injections work.
No, they work for the level. They just don't.
Now, how much is it though? Is your insurance covered or no?
No.
Insurance doesn't cover it. But if you do it through your GP, your general practitioner, you will get covered. But
Gary Payton.
if you go and see Dr. Sandra at New Mail Medical Center,
It's like $1,000 a month or something.
Not sponsored.
no, it's like it's It's a concierge program, so it's.
You guys can fucking text each other this shit
It's
after a podcast.
No, but I want people to know about this. It's
Fucking be more
$3,200
Jewish.
It's $3,200 for the year.
For the whole year.
For the whole year.
It's not bad. It's like $40 a month.
And
make a living.
you get all your blood levels checked and everything, and he's on top of it, and you're gonna get hooked up.
No,
and if
Jay,
you
why
wanna
won't-
get
What's
hooked up,
TRT was the question an hour ago.
Jay, why-
testosterone replacement
Jay,
therapy.
why won't your dick work? I don't understand.
Yeah, Jay, I heard that. Is it just flaccid all the time?
I was
And are you really hung like a light switch?
You tell me.
See, because
No.
I'm the only.
Not for-
I've
let
been
me rephrase
using,
that. We look at one another and it's like,
I don't care about that. But
No,
why
let me
why
see
isn't it
your-
working?
let me see
I'm
your
hungry.
thumb.
But why isn't it working?
Can you do you have erectile problems, Jay?
Oh yeah, bad.
Really?
When I jerk off, the sun comes up.
Yeah. So you're
I'm watching a
You're
guy hold his.
you're probably short but thick.
No, I got 8. I got relax.
Relax. Are we gonna take
I got
it
a
out?
big.
No, but listen. I use the term. I've been using the
I
term.
measure with a ruler, but I measure from my asshole, so I get just so I get the 6.
Well, because there's shaft back there. If you feel there's like, wow.
This
Hung
is what
like
the people
light
want to
switch.
hear.
So your
Actually,
kids
I
were
still
not
act-
bullied.
I've
Actually,
been
start from
using
Dean's
that-
scrotum.
I've been using that phrase for 30 years.
Which one?
Hung like a light switch.
Well, so we all have.
No, I've been using that term here in
You
the
never
last
heard that
13
before?
years.
Really? Nick?
You know who wrote that? Edison.
In Menlo, New Jersey. Watson, come
I
here.
use that
I need
term.
you.
I use
No,
that,
not
I use
him.
that term all the time, and people are like, well, "What?" Said I'm hung like a light switch.
You're hanging out with dumb people
and then
if
I
they
have
don't
to
put the math
explain,
together. Like,
and I even say I'm hung like a decor light switch. You know, there's the regular light
Don't
switch
explain
like
that to
and
them.
no, but the decor
That's
light
how they-
switch,
no.
like that.
no, I
He
get
goes
it.
to IKEA and he
I'm
shows them the
saying-
different.
Oh, I got the reference. I'm saying don't explain a joke that fucking simple to these morons you hang out with. Like, what do you mean you're hung like a light switch?
It's only been in LA.
I mean,
in
my
Canada,
dick is this big, like a light switch
in
is.
Canada. Everybody gets it.
But,
They're
but
like,
Jay, what
"Ah."
happened? I don't understand. You.
Yeah, back to your broken penis.
Why are you not? What's going on?
I gotta be careful how I word this.
Please don't.
I was
Is your dick involved in a lawsuit?
Yeah,
Did it get stuck in a car door?
I have a non-disclaimer.
I was in a relationship that was abusive, and
With your hand?
it was tied. Eventually, yeah.
Go on.
It was tied not abuse like how we think about it. It's very passive narcissism where the narcissism is in what I think doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do is okay with me. And like, I'm sorry. I'm like constant sorry. I'm sorry. And if you ask me who, I'm not going to answer. I'm sorry. And like you turn to talk to the person and they flinch and they back away and you're like, oh, I'm insane because I have a tail. I don't even realize it because this person's terrified of me. And then you go to a psychiatrist to wonder why you don't realize you're so scary. And your therapist goes, you're not at all. You're a nice guy. This is abuse. You're in an abusive relationship. This is what we call in my business prolonged suffering. And it was eventually tied to the value that you don't feel when you're in a relationship of that kind. When someone's depressed, right, it's a family disease, as you guys know. We all know this. And it is a family. This is what a psychiatrist told me, too. It's a family disease. And it fucking killed. It wasn't mine. Now I got my own on its own. But when you come home and all you want to do is be with, say, you want to be with your wife, you just like, and then over 6 years, it's, if I don't fucking get home, I'm going to hear about it.
Yeah.
That's not what a relationship is. Like rushing home so you don't hear about it isn't why you rush home. You rush home because you want to see that person. But you have always rushed home straight to see that person. And when you get home to see that person and they're not happy to see you and they don't look up and you go, hey, how you doing? And they go, what? That starts to weigh on you. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's like a Chinese water torture because then if something goes wrong at work and you're like, these people are fucking crazy. Like they think I'm an asshole. Then you go back, you think about your home and you go, oh, both my work and my home. So obviously I am because I'm in AA. We're both in programs, Dean and I, that end in an A, and neither of them are about eating. That was fucking good. I should write that down.
Write
Nick,
that
you're gonna
down.
write
You
down
got
my
a
tags
notepad.
for me.
You got it.
And
So far, what have you written down so far?
I just got my Adam's apple.
Drawn
And I
Is that
wrote-
a
I
picture of
wrote
your
penis.
broken dick?
I wrote 8.5 and crossed it
He
out.
just wrote down his jokes.
That's for you.
Wait, so
Thank you. I'm gonna keep
Sign
that
it.
forever.
Get him to sign
okay,
it.
but your penis not working. This is still. I'm not getting the.
There's a
You don't
correlation.
feel any value.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that's the constant in your home where there is no happiness is you. And then when it's tied to sex, when you hear about people's sexual exploits over and over, and you realize, but we're not having sex. I keep hearing about all the sex she used to have. Why did she want to have sex with me? Because she's depressed.
Right.
And when someone's depressed, nobody comes home and goes, I'm going to fuck the sad out of her. It's like, you don't want to bug them.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you're like, I really want to have sex. So if you ask that person and they go, oh, now? Like, yeah. And they look around like they're in the fucking car that's being jacked and they've got too many seatbelts on. Like, and they, okay, yeah, go ahead. Go. It's like, ugh. So it just ties. My dick doesn't work because I felt no value whatsoever about myself.
Huh.
I went to check into a mental hospital twice in the last 2 years because I didn't know what reality was. Both times I was visiting a friend of mine who was in a mental hospital downtown. And I saw that in the mental hospital they had a shadow. So as far as Nicky is for me, there's a person sitting at all times. And I thought, oh, wow, I can ask that person, is that Channel 5 on the TV? And then go, yeah. And I'll go, great. Check reality. I had to figure out what fucking reality is because I'd been gaslit so long into thinking I was this dangerous, crazy, like, shh, don't, you know how you get. And then I started to believe that's how I get, but that's not how I get.
Of course.
I coached kids.
No, you're a great guy.
Thank you. So,
Sorry you went through that.
thank you. And I'm still like dealing with it. You know, I went to a mental hospital twice. Both times was a Friday, and both times I saw that shadow, and I went, just fucking, and I asked for a bed. Both times, as I was asking for a bed, I thought I had the Melrose Improv the very next night, and I thought, I can't do that to Rita. It's sold out. I can't fucking screw her. She's so sweet. Just bye. I'm not doing the show in less than 24 hours. So, and I walked away from the mental hospital knowing I had to do the improv. Sunday morning at an AA meeting in the Palisades, and both fucking times, for some reason, there was a 7:30 a.m. wrestling practice on Monday where I watched kids run through walls. And that was like the paddles. Clear. That got me like woke. And I realized if I do all this stuff first, if I just keep doing stand-up, stay active, I keep going to meetings, if I keep doing wrestling practices, I can avoid walking into a mental hospital to visit somebody else and going, I should hang around. These are my people. I want to play Scrabble and not worry about the letters.
Yeah.
Scrabble's fun and hard, right, everybody?
I didn't know all that. I knew that
Well,
I knew that you got way back into wrestling, and I just kind of thought people were like, "Why is Jay Mohr coaching wrestling?" And I thought I had to go, well, my opinion of Jay Mohr of why he's coaching wrestling is here's a guy that was on top of the world, and Saturday Night Live and Jerry Maguire and Pluto Nash and Action.
Kind of drops off a little.
Okay, fine, right, yeah, all these things. And he probably realized he wasn't happy, or he was having some issues, and he probably just wants to get back to a place where he was really happy, which was coaching wrestling. And then this is his way of kind of his own personal therapy and his own personal journey. That's kind of what I
That's
thought.
a good assumption.
Yeah.
But if you read the 4 agreements, you should make them.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to coach wrestling, but it just, like stand-up, like acting, like Saturday Night Live, it's just this unattainable, amorphous thing that exists somewhere else. Because unless you're actively in it, nobody even knows wrestling matches exist. That's why nobody goes.
Yeah.
They don't know where they are. So I was at Don Tardino's house, he ran CSI Miami. He did some show. I forget the name now, but we were working on a script, and his kids were walking around in Crispy Carmelite T-shirts from where they go to school in Encino by you, I guess.
I know where Crispy is, yeah.
And I go, hey, do they need an assistant wrestling coach? Out of nowhere. And he looked up at the ceiling. He goes, I think they do. And 2 days later, the head coach texted me.
Wow.
And when I was coaching, it's like, this sport makes me cry, Adam. Like, you know it. Like, it makes me cry with gratitude and humility. And this isn't like, oh, this is when the guy that was breaking balls gets all serious because that's his fucking thing. No. If you see my stand-up, I just tell you everything about me.
No, that's
I'm an addict. I give with conditions. If I write you a thank you note for letting me coach the kids at junior high when you were away that time, and you don't get back to me in a month, I start like fencing in the resentment. Like, how does this guy not? I mean, I sent him a note. He should write back. Like Dean with the text. He was kidding, but I like times 50. But that's not why you write a thank you note. You don't give someone a gift. You don't do something nice for somebody so that they can go, validation, you. And when I was doing my step work, I have an insatiable, irrational need for validation. I get applause on my way to work. Walking to the stage, they're clapping before I say anything. I'm nuts. When I coach, they can't give me anything back. There is nothing a teenager can give me except feeling great about himself. And when I was coaching wrestling for the first time 2 years ago at Crespi Carmelite, I remember I was driving. I had to go to a Lakers game in Phoenix. I was doing a Lakers podcast. Me and my buddy Aaron were going from Van Nuys, where he lives. And it was one of those Monday mornings from the mental. I just didn't realize that till this moment. It was the second one. And I drove down Ventura Boulevard sobbing and praying and thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you. They can't give me anything back. They feel great about themselves. I get to show them that they're more valuable than they could ever imagine. They can do it. It's like stretching that elastic band. Like, you got to keep going. It's not going to break. It's not going to break. No one's ever drowned in sweat. No one's ever died from effort in a wrestling room. And then you put the you put the rubber band back when you go home. Then the next time you stretch it, it goes farther. They can run more. They can do more. And I love them. I love them more than all lovers, girlfriends, anything combined, ever. You've seen me with them. Like I tell them when I meet them, I love you, and it seems weird, but I'm going to earn it, and you're going to know I'm not kidding around after a while. And that's it. I'll never lie to you, and I mean it. It's that, like, hey, those kids need you. No, I need them.
Yeah.
I fucking need those kids. Otherwise, I'll be just chasing prostitutes, and I'll wind up, like, doing coke at a urinal or something, which I've never even done coke, and I don't use urinals. I don't know why I said that.
No,
that's amazing, man. I've just fallen in love with Jay Mohr even more.
I know, Jay. If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what do you think you would say?
It's a great question. I've read it in many magazines and stuff and thought, that's a great question, but I've never fucking thought about the answer.
Well, you're going to think about it now.
Everything's fine. Everything's always been fine. I would tell my younger self, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything will be fine. Your whole life, it just keeps falling into place. And that's my advice to anybody listening. Whatever you're freaked out about right now, all right, I'm not saying it ain't a problem, but worrying about it, it's never changing
Giving
anything.
up control.
We have no control over people, places, or things. Like if you go bowling and you roll a gutter ball, you lean your whole body because you don't want the ball to go in the gutter. That's worry. Doesn't affect the ball at all, and you're all fucking twisted up. So I would just tell myself, it's all right, because I had like peril. You know, as a kid, I was always alone. I was always confused. And with my two sons, I just want to make sure they're never confused. I want to make sure the rules are always the same. I tell my son.
Were you happy when you were like on top of the acting world? Were you in a happy place?
No, I was always like, how come I'm not higher? You know, it's us. You know, it's comics. I'm a comic. I'm not an actor. I'm a fucking comic. Who books that room? That's all I want to know. How do I get in there? He made what? How many seats? Why are there empty seats? What happened? How come he didn't sell more tickets? They said what? Fuck that. I did great. So acting is just this crazy side
That's
street.
exactly how actors think.
Yeah, but now, like when I watch your comedy, like someone was like,
It's
well,
different.
It's
profoundly.
it's like half NA speaker, half comedy, in a way, but in like a super thing way where like he's not bullshitting, and it's in a way where it's like I'm like, oh my, it's so truthful and real
And authentic
in any room, and there's nothing, and it's like.
There's no show.
There's nobody being like, oh, he's just fucking around. Like either you get it or you don't.
Mm-hmm. That's why I
And
couldn't
if you don't
stop
get it,
listening
it still
to
happened to me.
I put you on my Spotify, and
That's true.
Whatever bits they had on there, the 12 bits that they have, I listened over and over like 4, 5 times. I listened to the same things, and right out of the gate, you had my attention because you were just so relatable.
Thanks,
I thought
man.
you were so relatable and honest, and your comedy was effortless. And I realize now, talking to you, that it seems so effortless because it's real.
It's all I know. It is effortless. And I hate
Can we
saying
talk
that
about
out
the
loud.
cuddler though, or no?
The what?
The cuddler. Can we bring that up?
Yeah, sure. But let me just say,
All right.
I don't give a fuck what we talk about.
Okay.
I just told you guys I was abused at 46. Like 46 years old, I suffered the hand of abuse from somebody that weighed 103 pounds. Ugh.
But now that
So that's why my dick doesn't work.
Now
because
you're out
I
the
think,
dating
what
world,
am I
though. Is
I
it
doing?
didn't know you
getting
dated
better?
plus-size
It
models,
doesn't-
Jay.
Is it
That's
getting
the one thing
better?
I can't get into with big girls. I'm like, how do you feel about yourself if you let yourself get that way?
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on
I
them
just
at all.
heard Tracy Morgan yesterday. And
I said it right into your ear hole. That's another hole Dean can't keep closed.
But
Dude, so
I had Liam in the car too, and he's like, "I love big girls because everywhere you grab is like titty."
Yeah, but the trolls are abusing your kids.
dude, there was
I like this troll.
He just happened. He just happened.
so
to
there
be in
was
the
a
car.
girl-
I was taking him for a haircut.
There was a girl that came to the
Bad dad.
dime bar. I'm at the dime and I'm on stage and there's one person in the crowd and I go, "What do you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I get paid to sleep with men." I go, "So you're a prostitute?" She's like, "No, I cuddle. I'm the only 5-star cuddler in the country, right?" And I'm like, "How much do you make?" She's like, $60 an hour. And all the girls are all angry at her now because they're all the waitressing or whatever.
Oh,
And then
hold on. What girls? Who are
the other comics, the female comics that were
Oh,
there,
okay, yeah.
they were all competitive. Like, what the fuck am I working as a whatever?
Well, get in line.
Hooters.
Just fucking cuddle
But
somebody.
she handled that
So-
really well too. By the way, like talk about having confidence. When someone says, "So what, you sleep with men, so you're a prostitute," usually they'll like
Yeah.
yell back at you and just attack you. She was just like,
Well,
"Yeah, I'm
she's
just
no,
a
and then
cuddler."
so I go to Jay. I'm like, "Hey, this is girl. She's a cuddler," and he's like, "Dude, no girl can resist me." He goes, "Trust me." He goes,
First of all, I never said those
he
words.
goes,
That's absolutely
he goes,
false.
"I have the charm of any man of 20 men." Right?
Hold on.
So-
You just told me about how truthful I am. That is absolutely false. That I'm going to go up to you before I'm on stage at your,
No, it was after you went on. Right?
no girl can resist me. Apparently, a lot of them can. I'm fucking divorced twice, you dummy.
so then that,
No. That was never said by me.
all right.
This is
this is what I heard. Right.
No one.
So this is like you're like I'm gonna break her.
This,
I'm
is,
gonna.
this is really important.
okay.
Nobody's ambivalent about me, Dean
So,
and Nikki. Like
I don't
it's
even know what
either
that means. Ambivalent.
undecisive.
nobody's like
indecisive.
I don't know. Like I don't know. Nobody. It's either how you were just talking about me as a coach and a person and a friend. How you were just talking about me as a comic. Nikki and I are obviously in love with each other. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And-
That's why I'm here today.
Right. And it's oh, fuck that guy. But if you ask them why, it's like,
Why?
then the ambivalence comes in. But I can't control that. So if you go, no girl can resist my charms, which I never said, it's like, see?
That's
It's like a black guy being late. See how they are?
It was something to the extent of like.
Here's what it was. I'm going to find out if she fucks or not, or if she's an actual cuddler.
No, you're
It's
like,
only
but you said
$60.
I'm next level or something. You said something to the point where like you were like talking yourself up, which was it was me. I was like,
talk myself up to you.
I don't. So then that
It's
night,
her.
so the next day I called you up, right? And I go, how
I
did
can't get past the
I go-
preface being.
I go, how did it go? He goes, she just wanted to cuddle. I go, she's a cuddler, bro.
Well, how was it though? How was like? And
I'm not-
who gives out the stars for
You're-
cuddling? She
She
thinks
cuddled
she's
me.
a
It was
5-star
okay.
cuddler.
I gave her 5
Who
stars.
gives out the stars?
Then he goes,
I'm going to pull up your text because you texted me. The thing was,
He's
is
going
she
for the receipts right
if
now.
she a cuddler, and I was dubious that you can cuddle
yeah.
without fucking, because when I lay next to somebody and they drift off to sleep, I get consent beforehand, otherwise it's rape.
Right.
That's when I get the most turned on, because they can't see me and know that I feel no value and they don't add to my own head. So the thing with me was, I want to know, because on porn sites, when I look at escort sites, I always see ads for cuddling, but they're on like escort sites. So I've
Yeah.
always wondered if it's an actual cuddling thing,
Is that her?
or if it's quote unquote, cuddling, and that's the new lingo
Right.
for like, I'll fuck you.
Right.
So I took her back to Malibu.
And then she said, "You want to be
She's
the
an
big?"
exceptional cuddler. And it
Was
was
it worth
only
the $60?
no, because as we were cuddling, I'm never still, because I have this like primal fear of not being safe, so I never lay down to go to sleep. And I was finally I had to lay down. Like I fall asleep with the dentist. It's the only time I'm still. So they're drilling and they put something. I'm not joking. They put something in my mouth to pry it open because I'm out cold because I can't leave for 2 hours. Nobody taught me to brush my teeth as a kid. Whatever.
Because you're sedated, or just when you get something put in your mouth, you fall asleep?
If I'm just now I get your attention. You want to go camping?
Yeah.
Okay. No, because
yes, I do.
I'm never still. So when I'm laying in a dentist chair, it's the only time I'm still. There's nothing I can do. I'm not gonna freak out over shit I can't control. I'm numbed up, so I just go, all right, good night. Like I've been on planes, I've been struck by lightning. I'm like, I'm going to bed. This is crazy.
Really?
Yeah. That's like 0.1% of the pop. It's fight, flight, freeze, and there's like 1% of the population that go. Then we get sleepy.
I'm kind of like that too. I'm like, well, I had a good run. What am I gonna do?
A fight breaks out. I'm like, this looks cool. Oh man, all right.
Really?
Yeah.
You get sleepy when you get like nervous?
Everything. Yeah, it's on my body. I didn't know it was because I was nervous until I read that in like a sports psychology book of people like taking naps right before they go out into the court or right before a big fight. You know, like a heavyweight champion like us. Let me just take my nap and we'll go out to our thing.
And you're not you don't wake up drooling, like disoriented. I have to wake up. I'm like, where the I like wake up. It's
no,
like
I don't
just landed
sleep
in Oz.
before it. Like right before something crazy happens, I get sleepy.
Oh,
But she said to you, you want to be the big spoon or the small spoon, right?
How do you know that?
You told me.
Okay. Well, it was all text, by the way.
No, you told
And
me.
then we-
You
yeah,
said she
and then we
wanted to be
text-
the big spoon. And I
I
thought that was
said
the
I-
funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I wanted to be the big spoon in case we could fuck.
Right.
So I'm not gonna be a little spoon.
I was
No,
her
wait.
little spoon.
Which one? Which is the one? Yeah, of course.
It wasn't great.
Which is the one facing out? The little, spoon.
Yeah, I was the little one.
So I'm like,
She got me from behind.
I'll be the big spoon.
You spoon with her too? Oh, you spoon
Yeah,
with her
on stage. I thought it'd be
Right,
funny,
right, right.
and it wasn't. No one laughed.
You know what it is? When you lay down on stage, it's a fucking death sentence because you
Yeah.
gotta stand back up.
Right.
It's like that journey all the way back. Like it's like 8 miles from the
Right.
ground to your fucking
Except for
feet.
Kinnison, when
I
he
was
did
like
his
in
thing
her
about
vagina.
getting
I was
fucked
enthralled in it.
after death.
So-
The necrophilia thing. Did you ever see that bit?
I'm a little uncomfortable right now.
I thought that you
You're not
didn't.
into
I thought you
necrophilia?
wanted to cuddle with her because
No, I don't
you're
like that enough people do it. There's a name for it. Necrophilia. I don't care about you and a fucking dead person. What I don't like is that, what are we going to name this? It's everywhere.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah. I said
That's
about
her.
the cuddler. It's so funny, the cuddler. But and then you, I
What
called
is
you.
it? Share with us, because not our listeners can't read your phone.
Right.
Our listener. Sorry.
Right.
We were talking about.
So here's the thing. So I wanted to know if it was really cuddling or not.
Yeah.
It is really cuddling. And here's the skill set that's not addressed. To lay down with me in my bed, in my house, with the Pacific Ocean, you could fucking throw a golf ball into it from my bed, and me have no, here we go, vibes. It's like being a masseuse.
Right.
If you think it's weird, it's weird.
Right.
Like they don't do anything, there's no ambiguity. That means you're not sure which way it goes.
Right.
You know. So
Thank you,
that's the
Jay.
skill set for her to let me know without words, with our bodies completely together,
Yeah.
that it was just cuddling. That's because I'm not going to make a move. I'm not going
Right.
to be that creep guy. I never
Right.
can be. I'm too nice.
Did you have to sign any paperwork?
No, and we can't say her name because I'll tell you why.
And then what stage of clothing and dress were you in?
I changed into pajama bottoms and a t-shirt.
Right, and her, what she was wearing
She was
that
in
night?
regular clothes. She took off like if she. I
In
don't know.
jeans? Well, that's why you didn't get a hard on.
Well, she's not exactly, Cindy Crawford either.
She's not. You know. She's pretty. Girl.
She's more like Joe Crawford.
She's, she's a pretty girl.
She is very pretty. We're
She's
just
very
kidding.
pretty.
We're
so
just kidding.
nothing. Well, no, she's pretty. There's just. I mean,
She's pretty, but she's not like.
we get it.
Okay.
It's not like I meant like Christy Turlington. No, you're right. She's not Laura Compton. Oh yeah, you're right. No, it's like how do I say it? What was that Dane Cook, the waitress he used to date?
Raquel.
Yeah, she's not Raquel.
That was one of the funniest things
I
you've
don't
ever
fucking-
done.
I don't fucking
That
know
was
Raquel.
so funny, by the way.
What? I have no idea what we're talking about now. I was just making a
Dane
joke.
Cook.
'cause
No,
Dane gets hot chicks.
it was with you. There was a girl at the Laugh Factory that was dating Dane back in the day, and like Jay didn't know that or something. And you just said hi to her or something. It was like taken the wrong way, and she was half Native American, right? And then Jay comes back the next day, and like it's like kind of awkward because Dane kind of got it was like kind of a weird riff, and we're like, well, what's Jay gonna do? And I'm like, oh, he's gonna apologize or address it. He goes,
Apologize for what?
He goes, give it up to the waitress. She's half Native American, so if I bang her, it'll start raining.
Oh,
Here's another way to do that exact joke. The way I did it. Ready? How? Wait. Apologize for what?
I don't know. You would like hit on her, or something happened where he was mad, or it was something so stupid.
Oh, okay. Because Dane's like my guy. People get their asses bent out of shape, and a lot of time it's not, and that's just the story that comes back.
Yeah.
So, but Dane had a girlfriend I asked to a Laker game with me when I had season tickets at the Forum.
Was that what happened? Yeah.
I have no idea who Raquel is, by the way. None.
That's the girl.
It's also back when I was drinking, so who
okay.
knows?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to not go alone, and I realized, first of all, I wouldn't pull it like, haha, fuck Dane, because
Yeah.
we're brothers. Like, you and I are brothers.
Right.
Me and Dean, me and Nicky are brother and sister.
thank you.
But to me, I realized early on in my Lakers season ticket-dom, you ask a friend, like, do you want to go to Lakers game with me tomorrow night? First question is what, do you think?
How much? Or
I got season tickets. You want to come with me to the Laker game?
Sure.
That's the right answer. No, everybody goes, who are they playing? My sister's ass is playing.
Oh, what a bunch
You want to
of
see them
idiots.
play the fucking scrubs of
Yeah.
cock and universe? Like, I'm going to a fucking Lakers game.
Yeah, what
Do
a
you
bunch
wanna-
of assholes.
Nick
Who said
Swartzen. Well, when did they play the Timberwolves?
that? Oh, come on.
Tomorrow, sure. I'll change it up.
You can't
Place
believe
the
it.
call.
Jesus. So I couldn't. I had to give away half my tickets. You can't go alone. But I'm an alcoholic. I go alone because I'm drunk. So I realized
Or you think you were someone.
this whole section. I don't ever have to lay a hand on a girl for the whole section to think I'm fucking her.
Yeah.
So I just kept showing up with hot girls, and my section's like, this guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's got quite a harem going.
Right.
But I was just bringing people because I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
So that's what happened there.
But that was a good joke, though.
My girlfriend's a Cherokee Indian. It's pretty cool. Whenever we have sex, it rains. And it was right when El Nino came. So the hack tag that I hated, but it got the biggest laugh, was like, sorry about El Nino. And they're like, ah. And in my mind, I'm always like, you guys are fucking
But no,
weaklings.
I thought that was so funny because she really was half Native American, that girl. And
she did inspire.
And it was so hilarious that, I was like,
That was
Jay
probably
Mohr,
20 years ago. She might be 30 by now.
I go, Jay Mohr does not give a fuck. I was like,
But you're also tying in like it was a Get Dane type thing,
I
which
thought
it
I-
wasn't. So
oh.
I always give a fuck. My podcast, More Stories. By the way, I have a podcast also, More Stories, free app. Get it and subscribe and leave me a review, please. I won't. You will not criticize a comic. I'll take it out. I won't allow it. Like, no way. Like, no, I've never been that way. Unless it's Aziz, because he stinks. So then I went on Facebook and I wrote, what are you doing too? A lot of setup there, bud.
I knew Aziz when he was like 17 years old. We went to the
Quietest
Vegas
you
comedy.
fucking three ever were, you fucking babies.
And he was the sweetest kid ever. And then, like, you ever see that?
What
When,
about
you ever see
Aziz?
with these comics, like you ever
think
see
I
these
don't
comics
know at
when they start out like the nicest, like bright-eyed kids, and then something just like,
Yeah, then they have a book for sale at LAX bookstore, and they don't want to answer your calls anymore,
yeah, pretty much.
All right.
See a lot of the guys.
It's always those guys from that weird part of Asia where they're Indian.
Who were you on SNL with, by the way?
Sandler, Spade, Farley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Meadows, Sandler, Spade,
He's
McDonald.
got it.
Were you in
McKeon.
were you in Farley clothes?
No, but I mean, friendly, sure. But I tell that. I don't know if I ever told you the Chris Farley story. I tell it on stage. He is the most beautiful man I've ever met in my life. He swallowed Christmas lights. Just being around him, you're like,
Yeah.
well, there's some warmth, like the sun on your back. And the 2 years I was in SNL, he was completely sober. And he explained it to me perfectly. And he goes, it's like 3 columns. Like it's drugs, booze, and girls. And I fucking push 2 down, and the other one
one goes up.
skyrockets. And I push that one down, and these 2 start coming up. I was like, that's the greatest description I've ever heard. Maybe I should go to a meeting because I'm an alcoholic and I'm drunk. I'm on mushrooms right now. Is this really
Well,
him?
the hardest thing.
How soon after did you get sober? Did
98. I was on like 90. My last year there was 93, 94. So 98 I got sober. So me and Dave
Did
Attell.
that have any effect on you?
What?
What Farley said about?
No.
No.
It wasn't me. It's not talking about me. I'm
Well,
fine. I'm on Saturday Night Live.
Right?
Well, I mean, I
You know how we
definitely have like an addictive personality. Like my dad's in, all kinds of AAs and his sisters and this and that. And for me, it was the hardest part of a comedy was that, you do some show in Nebraska or wherever, some
Not all of us, but go ahead.
some show, and they love you. You're like, it's like heroin going through you. You're like, you're a fucking star. You're like, oh my God, you're making people laugh, you're happy. And then you get back to the hotel and you're staying at some Motel 6, and you put on like TV and like you see like 20 guys doing better than you, and you just the low. You go on Instagram, everyone's like living my best life, and everyone on Facebook is doing better than you, and I would just get such a come down.
Yeah.
And the only thing that would get me back up would be pussy. It'd be like
Yeah.
just calling up some girl on Tinder or Bumble, like, "Hey, come over, please. Let's fuck. I have to fuck. I have to get back up to where I once was, or I won't be able to sleep. I won't be able to do. I'll just. It's such a mind fuck.
I must be
Right. But
misusing
that's-
Tinder because you and Aldo like just fucking constantly.
Well, what you got to do
Not
is
now, 'cause you're
well,
married with a
what
baby.
you had to do is you're going someplace in a week.
Oh, I know what to
So
do.
you get the settings to that place, and then by the time you're there,
Adam,
Oh, so
who
you
are
lay the groundwork.
Who are you talking to right now?
that's a good point.
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
but to your point, it is.
By the way,
it's-
Naples, Florida, Off the Hook Comedy Club. I am God's lonely man. Maybe you can fix me.
I had a threesome there one time with these two like cougars, right? I mean, they were like more like mountain lions. That's this point, right? So, but
Fucking woolly man.
did they look like the old broad from What
Yeah.
About Mary?
yeah, it was bad. But one of them was actually hot. The other one looked like that, right? So I'm in a pool with them, and we're all like skinny dipping naked, and then one girl's blowing me, right? And then the other one.
Why'd you whisper that into a mic?
That's a good point. So she's
One girl's blowing
She's
me.
giving me a
The
blowjob.
password is
she's
blowing me.
She's giving me a blowjob, and then she goes to the other girl, finish him off.
Like in Tekken?
Yeah, like I was.
Or Mortal Kombat?
Finish him off.
Yeah.
Finish him.
Flawless.
Take your teeth out and finish him,
I
Blanche.
was like, is this a fucking mob hit?
That
or
was
like,
Kane.
Can I actually
That
ask
was
you guys
Kane.
like a...
Kane, the character. would
Do
take
the
his teeth out
girls
and blow you to
actually
death.
come up to you after a show and try to fuck you?
No.
Yes.
No. Really?
Of course.
How?
That's never happened to me.
well.
Not that that's a surprise, but
There's not that many people there when you do it.
true.
And I don't mean that as an insult.
No,
like,
I know.
We
You-
play. But here's the how?
How did girls go? They're
You
like,
never get pussy on the road as a comic.
oh
unless
yeah,
you-
that's all you get. That's all you do is you get paid.
I
in
haven't.
pussy. Well, first of all, I used
32
to.
years.
Okay, stop saying this because I want to go on the road soon. So if
Oh.
Tori hears this, I'm not going on the road.
No, you can't. It's impossible. I'll tell you why.
Tori, if
Let's
you're
say-
listening
dude,
in, all
I would
I do
get-
is go home and flick
How
my
many
bean.
girls do you think you've slept with in your life?
Me?
Yeah,
Bro, I fucking.
over 200, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to over 250. Sometimes I can't sleep. I try to count, but like,
Over 250.
I'm alarmed that you remember them all. Like
I don't. I just remember the countries they're from, or like the cities, or like
the ones that I'm like, I
where-
should get tested.
yeah, the ones.
Wow, that was
I think I
middle
have
of the
West
day.
Nile virus.
Middle of the day in August, he had a wig on. That was very odd.
they're all jumping over a fence.
She wasn't
you know,
black.
The Mexicans jump higher, but so
It's not true.
they don't. So no.
How do you get
I-
pussy on the road? You get off stage. How do they come up to you like they want to have sex with you?
You go,
Meet and
what,
greet.
you go, what are you doing? Yeah, first of all, you selling T-shirts or whatever the fuck. So people
they're-
come to
okay.
your booth, you know, and they go, hey, what are you doing
You go to
later?
street fair after a
Hey, what
comedy
are you?
show.
Go, hey, what are you guys up to later?
Oh, I got you.
That's really what. That's it.
But
I
that's
mean,
you putting it in there. They're not coming up to you like, "What are you doing later?" When
They're
Sometimes
not
they
banging on
are.
the stage
Sometimes
doors.
they are.
Adam.
sometimes
so
they are.
there's the disconnect because I don't do meet and greets anymore because I never got to rest.
Let me
between
get your
shows.
Instagram, and then
I
you
got
just
it.
DM
Alright.
them.
Okay.
You know, or they DM
Here's
you.
how I understand that. Like if you're selling stuff, you're doing meet and greet, and I do meet and greets. If there's a certain shirt you buy on my website, it's more expensive because it's a meet and hang. Like, you just fucking hang out. Nikki, here's how you can't get laid on the road at all ever.
Okay.
Where it's never in my brain.
Just tell everyone you're Jay Mohr.
You say how you don't get laid. I said
Oh,
like my name has
Yeah,
fucking
that-
sweat J.
that's
Oh,
what I
you-
mean.
that's your
You
funny
don't-
joke?
You don't want to get laid. Yeah, that's.
It keeps you.
We'll
stick
edit
with
that
it.
out, Jenny.
No, stick with it. You're good. Funny guy though. In a couple years, you say goodnight and walk this way. You say goodnight and walk that way. Right? They get up with their husband or a date or 8 other yakety cunts that are fucking drunk at a party and walk that way. So already it's trains going in opposite directions. So if I want to have sex with somebody on the road, I have to leave my own dressing room while people are still getting out of their seats. I have to work like a salmon upstream through my own crowd, and I'm the reason they bought the ticket. I'm at that luxury now, and Adam is too. And people are like, hey, that was great. Can I get a picture? Yeah, one sec. Excuse me, pardon me. Like fucking Bugs Bunny. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse
Well,
me.
are you
pardon-
giving your?
And then you get all the way up to that person and go, hey, how you doing? I know there's 650 people standing right behind me and around us. Is this your husband? Cool. Well, if it doesn't work, fuck it. Hey, buddy, what the fuck is that? Do you want to have sex with me? And if she says no, it's in front of everybody.
Now, are you giving your Instagram or Twitter
No, I'm
handle
an adult. Fucking Instagram.
on stage? If you go, hey, DM me, follow me at Jay Mohr.
I'm gonna start. Don't get me wrong.
Then people.
That's why I'm yelling.
Then,
I'm at.
then they DM you, right? And then go, hey, what are you doing later?
at
That's-
Jay Mohr 37.
Yeah, that's really
At Jay Mohr 37.
of course.
DM me.
That's the way to do it. I mean, if you want to, look, I don't get laid anymore. I'm
No,
so happy.
everybody does.
I spend so much time in my life wasting time. You
You
know,
don't
on
get
the-
laid married now?
well, we have sex about probably twice a week.
I don't know if you know my bit about, just to let you know, I hate people that fucking tell you a story. You're like, that's hilarious. And
Then
then
you hear it on stage.
and you're like, you asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember Ted? He used to work the improv all the time. Just Ted.
No.
He had long hair, like a rocker. He's a funny
He,
guy.
he would tell us that you do that.
He would fucking tell me this thing. I'm like, holy shit. He goes, so I'm gonna open with that. I'm like, you fucking
Oh,
asshole. when you have kids, you guys know this. Like, sex doesn't end, but it has to change drastically. Just a bit. I go, you can't do any more positions. Doggy style, cowgirl, reverse cowgirl. If you're fucking need to do weird shit, missionary, nothing. You have to do it standing up. Otherwise, somebody's asshole is always facing the door. And my two sons, cock and block, they always walk in. And they got to stare at your asshole or your wife's. That's creepy. So you wind
There's
up.
no coming back from
You
that,
just
huh?
lay on your side. You're both facing the door. It takes you like an hour and a half before she realizes you've been unrolling her fucking Free City sweatpants during Real Housewives of Ontario. I said Ontario a lot today. And then you just lay on your side. You have sex. The two of you staring at a doorknob for 14 minutes, hoping it doesn't open. Your wife goes, you're done. It's like, I've been done. I'm sorry. I didn't notice. Or you're looking for those blinky size 1 shoes that blink and light up. Because they'll make you lose your erection. They better.
Of course.
They better make
It
you
better
lose
not
your
improve it.
You've had 5 kids. I mean, has anyone ever caught you, the kids?
Oddly enough,
Wait,
just
you asked him if anybody's
once.
caught him with his kids.
No, with his wife, like
Yeah,
having
no, but
sex.
he
Like
said kids, right?
The kids ever walked in
I
on
knew
you?
what he meant though. Once. They didn't walk in, but they heard.
Is that when he became gay? The first
They
kid?
heard. No.
Oh.
You're born gay.
But
No,
no,
he
he
is.
was.
He's
My
a-
21-year-old. He's gay. But no, it was with him.
You have a gay son?
Yeah,
He's fucking great.
he's amazing.
If I had a gay
so,
son, there'd be one rule in my house. You're going to be the gayest. I don't want any fucking...
Start tapping right
is
at 2
he
years
or
old.
isn't he? Like, not even Tim Gunn. I want you to wear a fucking cape.
Yeah.
I want people to get off the plane at Burbank Airport, because I'm not flying in LAX. It's so much cheaper to fly in 20 miles away and go, where's that boy we're supposed to look for? And it tells us how to be gay in this town.
Nikki's parents started crying.
Yeah. Well,
Fuck
I actually
that.
heard my parents having sex, and it was like I'll never
I
forget
jerked
it.
off on the steps listening to my parents having sex.
No, you didn't.
No,
Yeah,
you
I
did
Yeah, I
not.
did.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm sick.
When did that
30,
happen?
31. No. I was a kid, like 12. I'm like,
And you knew what was going
Wow.
on? Obviously.
I knew they weren't wrestling. That's what we always go
I
like.
just remember hearing.
Maybe your dad
And
just
I
loved
said
the
something to
little
my mom
fucking
the next
gypsy
day.
dance your mom just did. His mom totally
It was
did a
disgusting,
thing.
and I told my mom the next day.
Wait.
I said, "You're disgusting."
Really?
Yeah, no wonder
I
your
said,
parents
I want to
reject
let you know that I tried to rest my sweet head and go to bed, and what you're doing 10 feet away from me through the walls is sick.
The fact that he was 8 years old makes the story amazing. Like, the fact that I tried to lay my sweet head.
No, it
I
was.
love that he refers to his head as his sweet.
And I'll never forget it. I
How
went
old
into
were you?
Dunkin' Donuts, and my mom was in the car. I'm like my mom's bitch.
How
I always
old
got
were
her
you?
coffee. I had to be like freshman year of high school.
All right.
So I'm in Dunkin' Donuts, and I get a text message from my mom that she meant to send my dad. And she texted
After
me.
you had this conversation
Yes,
that
she texted.
okay.
Nicholas said that he thought the ceiling was coming down on him last night. I told you we need to find a new spot.
Wow.
And I got back in the car and
Were
I
they
said,
fucking in the air
"You're
conditioning
going
vents?
to hell."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on the roof. I'll never forget it.
Where were they having
And that's
sex?
why. And now I'm gay.
Where,
I think you were gay.
that-
yeah, that's what did it. Where were they having
That
sex?
explains your brother.
So my right next.
Oh, what's that? Who's that? Not ooh, like how'd you say that? Ooh, that's
His
interesting.
brother's a paraplegic. That's what he's saying.
He has spinal muscular atrophy.
Why did they fuck him almost to death?
Well, it all started.
He has what?
With spinal muscular atrophy.
I don't know if you want to share. I love this story, and your brother's my hero now.
Yeah. He thinks he's black. He's really cool.
Yeah, that always makes a white guy the coolest.
He's no. Excuse me. He's a crypt. Literally though.
He's an
I like-
Italian
okay.
crypt.
Because he's literally.
Can you tell the story? Or?
Why'd you put a
What-
T in
Wait,
crib?
we never heard about the
Wait,
your
why
kid
did you-
I
walking
put
in
a
on
T
you
in
having
crib.
sex.
Yeah,
Why-
I want
I
to hear
said
about your
crypt.
kids walking
Why
in on
did you
you.
put a T in crib?
I thought it was the Crips. No.
No,
No, like
just
crip,
Crips.
and your brother's a crip bull. That's the joke, right? He's an actual crip.
Back to Dean's children.
No, I'm trying to help. I want to
He's a
help.
boy. He doesn't want to tell his story.
I'm like, help me. Like, no, it's crip, just so you know.
Okay. Thank you.
What's up,
I
Cole?
said crypt. You might have thought it was Nikki. I put a T in for some reason. I know it. I
I
know
thought
it's
he
crypt.
said crypt.
No, I said crypt.
Go on.
That was
So
me.
your kid saw your asshole?
I ain't your
No,
cuz
no.
crip. Fuck
Oh.
you, son.
No.
Your
This-
kid saw your.
When T and I first got together, I'd have Jack every other weekend,
Yeah.
and he couldn't sleep one night, and he came in, and we were making a lot of noise,
Yeah.
and he.
Who's making more noise though?
Oh, I'm a total screamer.
You?
No.
No.
I am when I come. Like when I come, it's like a fucking car accident. But up until then, it's good. Daddy. My son's gonna think he has siblings.
Yeah, because 5 Mexicans come running away because they don't have insurance. All right, go on.
when I come, Mexicans right out of my dick.
And it was, I just happened to be looking that way towards the door. Right, the bed was here, the door was here, and I just happened to be looking, and I saw the doorknob turn. I didn't hear it. I saw it turn, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then the door, that crack of light, and I jumped off, And I sat on the edge of the bed like this, going, oh. And he's like, Dad, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, I just got a migraine.
Wow.
But we were
Well,
like,
how come my stepmom's titties and pussy are out? You just leave her laying there?
how come she spread eagle with a butt plug up her ass?
Oh, don't make me
She
come
has-
over there.
she
Let me
has
tell
a-
you something. The hottest woman,
She has a migraine
pregnant
too,
Tori.
son.
Oh my god.
My wife is
Wait,
so
you've seen her
fucking
pregnant in
sexy.
person?
On the show, she was pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Your wife pregnant was one of the sexiest pregnant women of all time.
How many
Thank you, and
seasons
I
of
agree
Dean and
with you.
Tori do you have on DVD?
None.
And it's
'cause
all C-sections.
How
too.
many?
5
she's
seasons.
a good
many
girl.
episodes
She's
of-
got a daddy, obviously.
How many episodes of Troy and Dean have you jerked off to? And was it to me
No,
or
Tori
Tori?
was laying next to somebody that didn't like me.
It was the one where you got in the motorcycle accident and almost died.
You know what?
I almost did.
I was about to jerk off and I just exploded in my pants.
It happens to the best of us.
I know, sweetie. Yeah, your wife, pregnant,
wife-
with all sincerity and respect, when she was pregnant, I remember going, ooh, like primal.
Yeah.
Really?
No, dude.
Oh, she's
yeah.
fucking hot.
So
I love his wife. I think she's hot as
She's-
hell.
I know she is hot, but I.
She's
charge
so
that for me,
hot
honey?
and she's sexy as hell. Sexy as hell. Like I
Well,
look
we know
at
she
her
does butt
and
plugs
you
now,
just-
so that's-
you just she
Charge the fucking phone
she
already.
just oozes sexuality. Like she just.
That's what I'm saying too.
Wait. What would you need a butt plug for? I'm not really.
To get I'm not.
For
Hold
fun?
on. I'm not speaking for Tori. Okay,
Yeah.
I need Dean to know that because this is over the line. If I am, butt plug. I'm gonna speak specifically for Tori. Tori gets it so her asshole's ready when he decides to put his cock in.
Ah.
And if not, it's like, hey, look what you're not doing. And here, where this plug is, it's blocking the way. You fucking cuckold.
Is that what you guys wear? You guys wear butt plugs too?
No,
No,
gay guys-
I'm so boring. Most gay guys, yes, they wear butt plugs and
No, I
nipple
said-
tassels and clamps.
I was gonna go the other way. Like gay guys, it's not like, ooh, this is this because you can't have it. That's what's amazing about gay guys. I was in that like you know what it is. There was a steam room in Koreatown. I had a head cold. I had to go steam because I had a flight the next morning, like 6 a.m. flight at 1 a.m. I'm gonna stay up all night
Yeah.
because I had a book due, a poetry book. So I'm going to a gay steam room to just. So I go. There's only one place open at 1. There's the Wee Spa. There's a couple places. The place I went to was the only place I went to. I should say. Why do you talk like that? Shut up. You know, I don't have an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. Over my shoulder, that guides me all day. I have a 55-year-old gay guy who's just had it. Why do you have to explain so much? Just get to it. Who
Stop.
cares? Who cares?
Wait. So what happened?
Well,
Why go to
smoking
an
a Capri.
escort
Wait,
unless it's
so-
bareback? Who
so-
wants to wear that?
So gay guys in the steam room.
So I'm in the steam room in Koreatown, and I'm sitting there, and I look. It's a huge steam room. It's
Yeah.
enormous, and I'm like, oh, those guys are fucking blowing each other over there. And gay porn is always like,
Is that good for a head cold?
I'm gonna tell you, who said that?
I did.
That was good.
I know the answer.
That was good. It's not at all. Because your fucking eyes run because you can't breathe through your nose or mouth.
Right.
All you can say is, ooh. Can I finish this? I didn't say anything. Don't put it on me, you creep. Jinkies. You wonder why fucking D-Light broke up. All right,
Delight.
here's what really happened.
Grooves in the heart.
Groove is in the heart.
So these guys are blowing each other like 10 feet from me. And it was kind of hot. Like gay, not
Because
like,
you're in a fucking steam room.
not I'm attracted to these guys, or men, but these guys just met and there's a fucking blowjob. Like, what does every guy on earth want?
A blowjob.
Eliminate the fucking bullshit.
Or the
I
guy.
don't know if I can go home with you. I brought my fat girlfriend with me to the club.
Yeah.
Like, eesh. That means they go there for it. I'll tell you where it is, Dean. Don't worry. Look at this fucking licking his chops. So I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. Then I look to my left, and the guy, you see this in almost a lot of steam rooms in LA, any metropolis, LA, New York. The guy's just kind of like moving his hand under his towel a little bit, like he's kind of jacking off. I've seen it. You've seen it. Whatever. Once in a while. So this like twink, there's like 2 levels. This twink comes in, and he sits directly between the guy jerking off under his towel's legs. The guy with the towel that was jerking off keeps jerking off under his towel. Then he gets up, he goes to the shower, facing out, which, you know, there's a shower inside the steam, and he hits the water like he's in fucking flash dance. He looks up, he's got like half hard on, and he's like, oh, and his dick's facing, I said, hey, yeah, you know, and his dick's facing out. You know?
He turned into Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah. So then he goes to sit down, you know, then the little guy gets up. So he's got to climb over this guy with his dick fucking flapping around and sit back where he was. Then the little dude, the twink, gets up. He showers with his dick facing out. He sits back down. I'm like, this is a lot of fucking legwork for guys blowing each other within sight for you guys to, I'm thinking this. Then the big guy gets up again. Hand to God, I go, are you guys fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
But because there's a blowjob steam room,
Yeah.
no one's making a sound, so everybody jumps and you hear like, because I scared the I'm like, are you
How
guys
many guys were blowing each other in the steam room?
At that point, one over there.
Yeah.
But then the steam comes in, it's like real fucking foggy. You kind of can't make it out anymore, so it might have been more. I don't know.
How was your cold?
Hold on. So that I actually go, are you guys fucking kidding me? You can't close this? You can't. And I get up. Like I'm leaving, and I'm literally leaving out of disgust. Like, I'm gay, you're gay. I get the libido of a guy. You get the libido of a guy. You sat down because I was jerking off right where it would land. And we're not fucking blown. What? I go, this is fucking amateur. I gotta fix my towel so I don't see my erection. And I'm walking out of the steam. By the time I left, the Korean guy at the front that took my license for the locker key, I'm going, it's fucking amateur hour in there, man. I was mad driving home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you thought they should have just blew each other.
Or me.
Yeah, what was the whole back and forth?
Did it come
shower
from
thing?
jealousy,
You
Jay?
wouldn't have got a blowjob from a guy, right? Would you?
I don't care.
But that was back when you were 10 or 8.
No, if I was in a steam room and a guy sat down to fucking blow me, it's like, wow, I'm not even gay. This is great. Who cares?
It's still like you're a straight guy getting. That's what you're into.
We don't judge here on
Hold
the
on.
Daddy Issues
Yeah,
podcast.
no
The
judgment.
question wasn't, am I into it? The question, would I let it?
Yeah, but
You're in
when-
a fucking sauna in Hawaii. Some guy just, like, no, I'm not interested in guys. Ugh. Like, now that we're talking about it like this, it's fucking skeeving me out. But in the moment, guys are blowing each other. If a guy sat down between me. and
Okay,
just-
well, Adam, what if you went into the steam room with a towel over your head
Yeah.
and it was mixed? It was a mixed steam room.
And
Men-
I
men
didn't
and
know
women,
if it was
men
a
and
guy or
women.
girl.
Someone started blowing you, and you didn't know, and you took your towel off.
You
and
know
it was a
what? He's
dude.
not going to give you a straight answer.
I would have to.
why
No,
he
I have to make
says
sure it
that.
was a girl blowing me.
That's not what he asked you.
That's not what I asked you.
Well, I wouldn't
had-
be hard sitting there. It's
not what he asked you.
No. If you had a towel
50-50,
over your head,
men and women.
somebody started blowing you, and it felt amazing.
Like, oh my God, I'm
I
blind.
was
Somebody's
like, oh
blowing
my
me
God,
suddenly.
this is amazing.
I
You took off
probably-
your towel, and it was a dude.
I'd be like,
What would you say? Just
I
put
would
on
pro-
some lipstick and keep
I'd
going?
I'd probably throw up.
Lipstick.
I wouldn't be able to let a girl blow me, truthfully. I'd be like, stay in school. Make better choices. I don't think.
You say that on stage?
No, should I?
Yes.
Can you write it down for me?
Yeah.
Mentally-
Nicky is such a nice boy. You were just such a nice.
No,
I
yesterday at the
can't-
dine, there was a
Hold
girl
on.
all over you.
He's got to write this down.
There was
A
girl.
lot of girls want to fuck me, and I'm just like,
cou-
no.
I couldn't let a girl. I don't know how you said it exactly.
I couldn't let a girl blow me. I'd say, stay in school, get an education.
I would just add like me. I would add you, the joke doctor, like me. I would add like one. Keep writing.
Okay.
I would write like, no, I'm sorry. Stay in school. Would you add something in between that, Adam? Or just the way he said it?
Maybe
the way he said it, I mean, he, you
maybe
know.
oh honey, stop, stay in school.
No, that's not my thing. Stay in school. That's a great line.
It's a great
Just
line.
stay in school.
Thank you.
I don't know,
This kid
because
comes
part of
over-
when I get a blowjob, right? You know, part of me, like for my wife, when she's
The answer
blowing
is
me,
yes.
I want to be like grabbing her boobs, you know, when she's doing it, or like finger banging her, or grabbing
What
her
if he
ass.
was a dude with a
So,
great
like,
rack?
If I start feeling cock,
Every day.
if I start feeling cock, that kind of ruins the moment.
I got blown by a transvestite at Edelweiss in New York. It was a New Year's Eve. I was still drinking. It was like 97. It was me, my roommate, and our buddy who lived below us. And we're in this club, and this fucking there's some trannies floating around. There's this fucking Asian chick with big titties, and she's like, you know they're a tranny when they have the exact same voice as a midget. You watch the Learning Channel, the dad's like, we're just like any other family. And then you meet a tranny, she goes, hi, Papi, how are you doing? You want to dance with me? Have a date. We're just like any other family.
My God.
So
That is so true. Oh my God.
we're in a booth, and this Asian girl's blowing me, and I got this fucking beautiful titty in my hand. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm going to be honest with you. I knew it was a fucking tranny. But I didn't sit down with her because I'm like, this is a good-looking dude. I'm like, fuck. When I first saw her, it's like,
You thought it was
wow,
a girl.
of course.
Yeah.
And my buddy Matt comes through. He went across the street to our apartment, and he came back with this giant, like, Ina, the Barefoot Contessa pepper grinder, because he couldn't find his bat, and they wouldn't let him bring it in the club. So it's this, like, 2-foot-long pepper grinder. He goes, JJ, he takes out his gun, he goes, we're fucking going right now. I'm like, bro, you need to relax. He goes, that's a guy. Meanwhile, there was a mouth with lipstick on it and great lips on my dick. And balls, mind you. She cradle the balls. Like there's slobber all, like if I stood up and left, it would have been like, did somebody throw up in his lap? It was disgusting. And I'm holding her titty. I'm like, he goes, that's a dude. I'm like, not right here, it ain't. I don't know what you're talking
Not
about.
at the
He goes,
moment. He was gonna hit her with a pepper
no,
grinder?
below the table. I go, buddy, below the table, she could be a centaur. I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
Have you always been a romantic?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
you
your
have
buddy-
to know the rules to
The
break 'em.
pepper grinder. What? He was gonna hit it with a pepper grinder? What?
He was gonna hit me. That's how serious he was.
And then
Like, if you
marinate
can knock
them
me
all.
out. I'll just be like one of those guys that hang themselves when they're jerking off.
So
Oh,
once he,
no.
once he,
Sorry, I don't hit it close to home, Adam. I thought it was just be on the 5th sentence from there by now.
have you seen the scars on Adam's neck? He was. he had
Oh
a
my
close call.
God, Adam.
It was
He had a
it was-
close
it
call.
was tough.
So yeah, I don't give a fuck when I'm talking on stage, and if they don't laugh, I don't care if you laugh. That's what happened. That Jesus, me doing mushrooms at a Shea Stadium Mets game, and Jesus sat right behind me, second to last row with my Guido friends in Jersey. Did you ever hear the story?
No, I'd love to.
And I'm like, I feel this fucking, I'm tripping my cock off, and I feel like heat behind me, like somebody lit a fire. It's Christ of Nazareth, the guy, King of Kings, Prince of Peace,
I was
the whole
thinking
bag.
Jesus, but
Right.
it's really Jesus.
No, it wasn't. Believe me, I checked it. I'm looking, it's Christ, like his heart's outside his body, and he's looking at me, but he's kind of like bummed out, like, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Is he not a Mets fan?
I turn, well, if he is, then I'm going to be a Jew.
Right.
Fucking Mets.
the
My
worst.
entire team sucks.
Yeah.
So I go, hey, guys, I'm with 6 fucking Guidos. I go, Jesus is sitting right behind me. They don't turn around. They just go, why would he be in the last row?
Were they
I'm like-
tripping as well?
Yo, we all, I'm like, it's, yeah, we all
That's a
were.
pretty good answer
I'm
for
like-
someone who's tripping, though.
I go, it's kind of his thing. He's
Yeah.
not a
He's
first,
humble.
He's
He's
not
humble.
a first pitch type, Christ.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Nazareth, Jesus,
he's
let's
not gonna
hear
say-
it. Like their fucking t-shirt cannon.
That is so funny.
Like, hey, just don't bounce it, okay, Jesus? He goes, get away from me.
Guidos from New York are my favorite.
That's what
Same.
Jesus would say.
It's my
Just that-
family.
You going at the first pitch. I mean, double A, but still.
Yeah.
And you go, just don't bounce it. Jesus would go, get away from me. That's what he would say.
He would
So then I asked Jesus, is there anything you want me to tell everybody you're unhappy about? And he goes, nobody uses $10 bills.
say.
And
Really?
the crowd doesn't laugh. And I go, I don't care if you laugh. When they don't laugh, I go, I don't care if you don't laugh. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So that's the big valve I realized when my comedy, like the comedy you're listening to on Spotify, Dean,
Mhm.
I don't even know that guy. That's crafted.
Right.
I just tell shit that happened to me.
It's crafted very well. I mean, it's crafted very naturally. Like you wouldn't know
Thank
it was
you.
crafted. But
And
I
fearless.
did. And your stuff at the dime when you came out and you just did
Anything
this whole
you saw on
thing
the
about
dime
not
was better
giving
than
a fuck.
anything you saw on my special. I'll say that. I know that.
And I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you because you got up there and you were
6
just like,
people
hey,
there. They're all on my phone.
some people didn't get some of the jokes, and you were like, listen, folks, I don't give a fuck.
Well, if they don't get
You know,
like,
I paid
maybe
the
they get it
government.
and
I
they're
paid
just
the government
enjoying it.
$800,000 twice.
Can I say my
divorced.
own jokes?
No, no.
You guys keep paraphrasing my fucking jokes.
I want to show you that I fucking listened and I didn't.
Buddy, you
Don't
have
touch
not-
me.
I apologize.
You could cut the sexual tension with the steak between
Right?
the two of you. Can I say that?
No,
was
you know what's
unaware of
funny?
it.
Just after this interview,
This is great. I love this guy.
dude. We are cut from the same cloth.
Okay.
Yeah, jizz
No, I
rag.
go, hey,
We're-
if they don't laugh, I go. Oh my God, that's the closer.
And good night. Thank you, ladies and
That
gentlemen.
fucking sock.
That was.
Oh my
great.
God. And then it takes us 3 years to go, I can put my dick in the sock. I'm an idiot. Oops. I go, let me tell you guys something. I've been divorced twice. I've gotten sober twice. I've given the IRS $700,000 twice. I'm all out of fucks.
Yeah.
That's the
That was
line.
the best.
Yeah, I
He
love
goes,
it.
I paid the
you had me at that.
government.
That was
That's
the best.
Dean's. I paid the government. They're treating me very fairly here.
You said you were a millionaire twice.
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say?
No,
See how I
he-
misquoted? Like immediately. That's not what I said at all.
They have a lot of nerve.
What did you say?
Jay.
He paid the
I said,
government.
I've given the IRS. I never said government. What are you, a
IRS.
fucking Indian from F Troop? Government, come, take them land. You doubled down on it. That's why I did the bit, because you said the word government. Like a fucking Russian model. What about the
Je-
government?
Je m'excuse. The IRS.
I think you said you were a
Julia
millionaire.
Dacro.
I think that you're a millionaire 2 times over or something, twice. You
No,
made
because
$1 million
that would be
bucks,
the
lost
guy
it
that
all.
goes, but I got certain charm, Adam. Watch this. I'm not
Yeah,
that guy.
I know.
I've been divorced twice. I've gotten sober twice. I've given the IRS $700,000 twice. I'm all out of fucks.
Wow.
Millionaire 2 times, please. Yeah, when I was 25. Fucking 2 times.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that, but you said.
I don't know. You,
Hold on, no. I just said it again, and you're going, oh, no, I thought you said it. No, I thought you said I'm all right, Spider.
The rumors are still swirling here at the Daddy Issues podcast.
About what? About what I said
About
5
what you
seconds
said,
ago?
yeah.
No, what I say? He's a big boy, Anthony. Let him speak for himself. What I say?
I thought you said.
I don't know, you fucking prick.
Listen, I love
You think you do a better
I lo-
Pesci than what's his name? Than Brewer?
Yeah.
Your Pesci's really good.
I know
Your
it.
Pesci's really good. All your impressions are really good.
Absolutely, I do.
But
Yeah.
I've got a list of your impressions.
I don't know.
here.
He's really good.
I
at
want to
Pesci.
hear Andrew McCarthy.
It's a visual. I'll show it to you.
Is it a visual? Okay.
This is my first impression. I was
Anthony
15.
Kiedis.
Hold on.
I love her, man. I half the names on my Wikipedia page of impressions were just me standing dressed like the person on SNL.
Okay.
I like Anthony Kiedis. I didn't have any lines.
Okay.
Billy Idol, no lines.
Don Rickles.
All right. Anyway, I do Colin. That's just
Yeah,
like I do with my
okay.
friends, like how you and I do Miller.
Joe Perry.
There was no words in that
No
sketch.
words. Mickey Rourke.
Well, I do Mickey Rourke like when he was acting, and like he was the most hottest fucking guy on earth in Public Greenwich Village.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean,
I like 9.5 weeks when he's making the bed in his houseboat, and Kim Basinger goes, "You're taking a lot for granted." Am I? He's standing next to my bed. Every time I see you, you're buying chickens. It doesn't sound good on my, but he
No.
always touches his forehead here. He just repeats everything. I don't really do Mickey Rourke.
that was a good Mickey
Ricky
Rourke.
Lake, I don't
Folks,
do.
if
I
he's a-
did it on SNL, like, come on, guys.
Eat something.
Sean Penn.
Very good. Sean Penn, I don't do. I do the walk only.
The walk on. Okay.
Because
Because I was really interested in Sean Penn because it'd be subtle. And your Colin Quinn is fucking incredible.
I do Forrest Whitaker
Let's see.
and Tracy. I do the barefoot
I
contestant.
love
Yeah.
Tracy.
I love
Yeah.
the barefoot Contessa. Make tortellini.
Don't tell Jeffrey. How bad could that be?
Yeah,
My
I mean,
friend
and you're-
Tiara's coming over and he's bringing flowers. So.
nobody does a better walking than you, though. Chris.
Of course not. It's crazy to even assume that. Craig Gass's Pacino is better than mine. I know mine has hit like a good
Dude,
good
Want to
velocity.
hear a funny Craig
But
Gass story?
Gass's fucking Pacino gives me, because I know Al, it gives me the fucking creeps when he does it.
Yeah,
He
I
always
saw
has this-
Gass's. I
He has
watched
to
it
knock
last
on the
night.
table, or he knocks on the table to like it's a talisman. Like that's how
I got a funny Gas story and a funny Al Pacino story. So the Craig
I
Gass.
bet the Al Pacino story is a little more entertaining.
well, oh,
Hold on, you can.
well,
Why
I
do you
asked.
save the Craig Gass story
Well,
for
I
last?
asked Derby Piven what it was like being in Heat when I was
Throwing
working with
names
Piven.
around.
And he was saying that Al Pacino has insomnia and he falls asleep all the time on set.
No.
So when they go action, he wakes up. So that's why he looks fucking surprised.
Surprised
Oh,
all the
what are we
time.
doing?
Yeah, like
Why don't you tell your friend that Jeremy Piven is a fucking bore? I fall asleep around Jeremy Piven because unless you're going to tell me the reason you're wearing a hat, it's because your fucking hair plugs. Nobody wears
have to go.
a hat
I'm
for
out.
fucking 2 years.
Signing off.
You and David Spade. No, that's his look. Don't you know, Nicky? A grown man walking around with a fucking cap. What are you, sick? You want me to sign your mitt?
Okay. When
Now the Craig Gass story.
all right, the Craig Gass. We did Captain Brian's Off the Hook,
How the
right?
fuck do you
Back
do
in the
that
day.
last?
So Craig Gass does impressions. So a week before, it was like in Florida. He goes on the radio as Al Pacino, Tracy Morgan, Robert De Niro, Adam Sandler, saying they're all gonna be
us at impressions, Adam.
saying they're all gonna be at the Captain Brian's Off the Hook to see us. That
We're
way.
all gonna be at
So now the-
hook in Naples.
So now the whole Naples shows up because they all think that they're gonna be there, right? People like Craig Gass, Tracy Morgan's someone he owed money to was there, like his mechanic from like.
Bang
No.
the nigga, what's
Yeah.
up? I don't owe you nothing. My name is Craig Gass.
And then people showed up with like posters, like had Billy Madison
My
posters.
son was there
His son
with
was
a
there.
with a sign. Go, Adam, go.
So then
There's the callback. I'll see you guys later.
the fucking Cubler showed up. So Gas goes up there and he's doing well, and he starts doing the impressions, and everyone realizes that this is the guy on the fucking radio, and they wanted to kill him because they all showed up to see these celebrities that he said were going to be there. Watch.
Craig, I would have said it's not my fault they fucking canceled.
Craig is great. I was just listening to him last night. And we're losing Jay Moore. Jay,
2 hours. What do you
All
want?
right.
I gotta go.
So
I gotta
what-
pee too.
What do you have coming up, Jay?
Naples, Florida, Off the Hook.
When?
When's this come out? First week of May.
June.
When's this come out?
June, most
I heard
likely.
you. Now I'm
Oh,
actually
sorry.
we're going to do. Maybe we should bump it up.
Oh, it is actually coming out in June.
Yeah.
Well,
have a star-studded guest.
jmoore.com for all my dates. If you're asking me when I'm doing stand-up comedy,
Yes. When are you doing stand-up comedy? Well,
Your
he gets his
son
phone out and
and
finds
his
it. What do you
bitch
got going
whore.
on, Adam?
girlfriend, they took something from me.
Go to AdamHunter.com to
could've
find
said
out
that.
where I am. But
Where I am, go to AdamHunter.com.
I'll also be in. Find out where I am. I will be at, like he said. I'll be in July. I'll be at Off the Hook Comedy Club. Late July. I'll be July 4th to the 7th. I will be at the Stratosphere that whole week in Vegas, and I'm going to be at the House of Comedy in June in Minnesota, as well as just go to AdamHunter.com.
All my dates are at jmohr.com. I really do have to go, actually.
Yes.
We love you. Thank you
love
so much for being
guys,
here
and
today.
I'd love to come back, and I'll.
It was
talk
fantastic
less and
having
let
you,
guys actually
and-
ask me the questions you wanted to. You asked me something early. I don't remember what it was, but let me tell you guys.
I'll write
something.
you. I'll send you a postcard.
We're gonna spray paint your name on the Comedy Store, by the way.
Is this one "Stolen Car" by Springsteen? Kind of creeps in over the top. Settle down.
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nicky Paris, bitch. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay Mohr. I hope your boner gets better. That's daddy issues. Peace.